stardate is 56103.1. 1 week has passed since the dreaded Dusk Machine was left drifting within the Peugeot subsector space. The campaign to preserve the Chigo Alliance from annexation and utter ruin to the subsector has been achieved. For all the acclaim and heroism performed, an accounting must be made at 10th Expeditionary Fleet Headquarters at Starbase Aegis, so Rear Admiral Nia can run it up the chain of command and put forth the actions of the fleet and its squadron for full review and study. Thus, Fleet Captain Grennan, along with a select group of his senior squadron staff, must head to headquarters of the fleet. Deep Space Arcania finds itself swamped with damaged Allied ships from Starfleet to Chigo to Klingon. Of greatest concern is the arrival of Lord Captain Oda of House of Gitta, who has been brought to be examined regarding his rather irregular wound suffered during hostile action aboard the Dusk Station. However, the Klingon House leader is but one of hundreds of patients that suffer under the strain of the device that rippled out despair like fire to a dry forest. Aboard the station, within the confines of the Midnight Watch corner aboard DSE, the Secret Society sits to plan its next movements in the days ahead, with an especial eye toward the derelict City Fortress and its hyper-advanced psionic technology, complicated utterly by the competing interests of the secession and succession wars plaguing the Quaqua Principality, as well as the ambitions of the Woohoo Illuminated Worlds and the Klingon Empire. We start our first scene, as we generally do, within the conference room aboard the flagship of the fleet, of the squadron, the USS Kismet.
I think you said it right the first time.
No, the flagship of the 10th in its entirety is the Expedition, officially.
I'm always going to dispute that.
Whoops. You're here now. I don't care. So the three of you make your way into the conference room.
Is Varder going to take a seat?
No. He's standing guard at the door. No.
Commander?
Fleet Captain? Captain?
Come on, no.
I take it you've had an opportunity to go over all the after-action reports?
Yes. I've been, I have barely had time to step out of my ready room for the past week. So it's been one thing to another, sir. So.
Well, to use an old Earth colloquialism, join the club.
Yes, isn't command life fun?
Huh. Well, I have signed on as someone who transfer Lieutenant Sarissa. I'm not quite sure where she's going to be assigned yet, though. So I've kind of had her doing stuff on the station for now. But I believe that was one of your requisitions, Varder.
She's security. Voice was not.
Wrong person there, bud.
She is security.
I believe she's going to be stationed on the station as your new chief, as Thralic has been assigned as the hoplite commander.
We needed a replacement for Thralic.
Oh,
and she
okay.
was formerly a chief of security before the... What happened to the Tenchi again?
A variety of things, apparently. Which, after reading the logs, it seems that some strangeness occurred to the Tenchi that is beyond my clearance level. So I haven't really seen anything beyond that the ship has been lost and recovered, sort of, along with most of its crew. some of the crew has transferred over to the Deep Space 17, which is incredibly out of position currently. So I do not envy my counterpart on the spinward end of the fleet. She shakes her head.
Hmm.
Sounds like fun.
Silk Road is a long and winding one.
Chief of Security. Security. She types on her pad. DSE.
Oh,
I've heard nothing but good things about the activities of the Tenchi. So,
Well, from what I've read of them, they had some difficulties in the Spinward regions a few weeks back regarding some new empires in that way, but apparently their situation isn't quite as precarious as ours has been in relation. They haven't had a Peugeot problem quite. They've been a lot more distant.
A whole bunch of classified nonsense
Yeah.
regarding highly advanced technologies and peoples. And not so highly advanced peoples and technologies. It's one of those situations.
They've not been playing with dumbasses with super weapons.
No. Well, not any known super weapons.
Oh,
From what reports I've heard, they've been managing there's a hyper advanced empire that way that thankfully seems to have some distance from us. So there hasn't been too much request from DS-17 for support. But I've been monitoring in case we need to resupply. Although right now we're pulling all the supplies, going to my report. We have a variety of ships. The Ganymede is at the station. The Gungnir came by the station. House Sugita Squadron has been around, so they've been in the system, and I've had to deal with that. There's a Ferengi ship that's been negotiating with the Ferengi Commerce Authority, who apparently
Ferengi?
works for House Sugita. So
Oh yeah, he most certainly does.
yeah.
okay.
And further, it would appear that the ambassador for the Qualcomm Principality has withdrawn on not with any on the advice that the official line being that given the current political climate, they are unable to represent a singular polity. So although the diplomat ease of that is they don't know who's going to win the war, so they're not sure who they're representing. Since now we have at least 3 different factions all pushing to either divide up the Qualcomm Principality and its vassal states, the Uxo and the Snafi, or for Star Admiral Koshi to take the throne, or for one of the variety of archdukes that are still left after the destruction of the Dusk Machine.
I mean, this is going to sound bad, and obviously we can maybe help out in some degree, but their new leadership isn't our problem. This is something they have to figure out themselves.
Very much a prime directive situation, I agree.
Like,
this is an internal matter.
Yeah, we can't pick a leader for them. That would us be literally
Exactly.
overstepping.
You can't pick a leader, but Star Admiral Koshi is quite positioned.
Like, sure, if we can assist here and there, sure, but we cannot get involved politically.
Well, that said, sir, the problem we do now have is that we've been known to be closely aligned with them, and Fleet Captain Grennan has supposed ties to their government as a gentleman of their court. So at some point, we're going to need to tell the Star Admiral what we're going to do about it. Yeah. And why we're not helping her. She hasn't sent a request to me, and I haven't seen any of her officers. We are getting reports from our liaison officer that's still attached, but Lieutenant Denai is swamped with just getting mainly she's been advising the Star Admiral on scientific matters, but she's been put in an increasingly difficult position because on paper we are aligned. On paper we're aligned with the Lorira, and it's Star Captain, now Star Admiral. But now that alliance is at odds with our directives. So that's part of why I brought that up, because Lieutenant Anai needs to know what our official position is going to be on this, and I advised her to just stay pat for now until we sort things out, because I think this is the first meeting we've had at the same time, and even then we still don't even have the Maxwell Planck still isn't back from its patrol down in Rimward. So she shrugs. Frankly, this is the best between the two the XCO XO of the squadron and the intelligence officer. We need to decide what we're going to tell the lieutenant.
Well, I mean, in regards to Grennan being a member of the court, sure, he can cast a vote, but that's still just a singular vote. As long as we don't actually get involved, then that's not a prime directive issue.
Well, he might be demanded as a noble to join in a war. They may use it as a preamble to drag Grennan back into it, sir. She nods. Or indeed our knight that we still have aboard. Which, once they find out that there's a knight in our midst, that becomes a whole issue itself, according to Anai. Apparently, knights are expected to defend the realm, as it were, whereas gentlemen are just expected to advise the realm.
Then that leaves a question, though. What if this knight, this Sir Grennan, decides that he wants to return to Quaqua space and assume his duties?
Then we have a human officially taking a position on Quaqua matter. And a rather famous human, because you were on the various holographic and Tridio feeds during your speech, during your prosecution of the Steel Prince, well, former Steel Prince anyway.
Also a human
Right.
who has information that could get leaked.
The whole reason that we went out to capture him in the first place, given he has all of your knowledge up to a certain point. Sure, the codes are no longer valid, but a lot of other information is not so easily changed.
But that doesn't address the main concern. Like or not, Sir Grennan is eventually going to become a free actor. Starfleet can't impound him forever.
Well,
Actually, I was going to lodge a protest against his unlawful imprisonment. Frankly, we have no just cause to hold him any longer, and I think we should allow him more leeway than we have. Even if he is a clone, even if he is a foreign actor as well, he is a Federation citizen, and he hasn't abrogated that right.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
I mean, I know the Admiralty wants him for security reasons, but last I checked, we don't serve the Romulan Star Empire. Our citizens have rights.
well, I'm just going to be honest here. I'm happy to go with the two of you wanting to give him more freedoms and release him. All I'm saying is, don't be shocked when he suddenly disappears.
And shows back up in Quaqua space.
No. That's not the type of disappearing I'm alluding to.
He's alluding to Section
Oh.
31, sir.
Well, not even just them. Starfleet Intelligence. Section 31 is the branch we don't talk about, but intelligence isn't exactly clean itself.
Mm.
Yeah, I try here.
It's a large organisation, Varda.
I'm aware. I'm still part of it.
And
If
he's not-
anything, sending that actually gives the argument to sending him into the hands of the Quaqua for his own defense, unless he
From-
wishes to sign up for duty.
From the point of view of also, if we send him specifically to Koshi rather than to one of the actors who we don't know, then at least we know it's who he's serving, who he's advising, who has access to that information.
Indeed. Koshi is someone we can trust, and by sending Sir Grennan to her, it would be an act of good faith in terms of upholding our alliance, wouldn't it?
It doesn't help the publicity thing, but
that
there's only so much we can do.
is a very poor choice of words from both of you.
I'm very good at poorly choosing words.
If, when we give him more freedom, he decides to go into Quaqua space and decides upon himself to go to Star Admiral, that's a different matter. Us sending him to a player is a different matter.
Because once you send him, even if you ask him, it can be construed as a first directive violation on our part.
So again,
Through an agent.
phrasing.
Right. And I think for obvious reasons, I shouldn't be the one to have this conversation.
Not alone, anyway, sir.
When it comes to Anai,
Hmm.
we have, unless we wish to break the alliance with the Lyrira, of which I see no particular reason to do so. Nothing that comes across as an act in bad faith.
Well, if that's the case, would you...
What does?
Nothing that comes across as not an act of bad faith.
Okay.
Well, if that's the case, would you like to speak to Sir Grennan and maybe help him come to his own realizations of what he could do?
Me?
Yes, as our intelligence officer.
Since you have the rank to officially release him, by all technicality, we're holding him under the authority of your Starfleet intelligence branch rather than your security branch.
Yeah, I can have a word with him.
And if the Admiralty has a fit about it, well,
Just point
Sorry?
him at me.
Oh no, that one, they could have a fit. They have a fit at a couple of things they do. That kind of what being intelligent means.
I am very glad I did not take security at the Academy. So very glad. Then again, I'm wearing a red collar, so...
Wait, you had
Draw
a
that
choice.
I was invited to be a security officer at first, sir. In my
That's-
first year. I
that's-
actually delayed a year to go into medicine.
That's nice for some people. But, considering all the repairs that have been going on, what state's the Kismet in? You
The
were
Kismet.
fired upon quite, from what I hear, from a couple of cruisers and from the dust machine itself.
It only had 3 major breaches in the engine area, the sensor area, and the weapons systems. They've since been repaired at this point. So the Kismet is fully operational.
Well, I was going to say, if it needed to stay in repairs, I could take the fleet captain to DSA, myself on the Achilles.
DSA?
Deep Space
Aegis.
Starbase Aegis, sir.
Oh, Starbase.
DSA
Yeah,
is
that's
a
alright.
different... Yeah, that's the other one, sir. That's with the 3rd Fleet, I think?
I don't know.
SBA.
There's a lot of places. I don't remember every name to every place.
She looks like she's going to say something, and she looks at your collar and decides not to say.
Hey, if you want to say something, say something. I don't give a rat's ass.
It's all right, sir. It's not pertinent to the briefing, to our meeting. But yes, the Kismet is in working order. The Plank had the worst of it. That's why it's on patrol now, is because it's basically been in repair for almost the entire week. We only just basically having breaches across various systems due to the damage suffered by the Dusk Machine's cannon. Oh no, I take that back. That's a different report. That was in fact from the fighting that happened before the cannon fired in earnest at everybody.
Swarmed by carriers and fighters.
Yeah. So, but the plank is operating fine. And as for the Achilles, minor maintenance has been done. We've refueled and resupplied and rotated out some of the crew you had, since some of them need some shore leave time. And I've once you sign off on it, I can move some of your junior enlisted and officers out and give them somewhere within tall grass to rest in, because I would suggest shore leave at DSE normally, but we're busy as heck and they'd end up having to work even on their days off. So
yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
it's a case of I just don't understand how my ship doing what it did came out a lot better than the other ships.
Psionics.
Correct.
Plus, as I understand it, sir, your ship was performing hit-and-run raiding tactics, whereas the rest of the Tiger Squadron was in fleet combat proper. So the job of the Achilles is to minimize the damage it takes and do as much damage, whereas their job was to draw as much damage as possible, because by the reports we had from that battle, I do not think the Ganymede or the Gungnir could have taken that brunt all by themselves, even with their support.
I mean, they didn't circle me a few times. Oh.
Yes, we've read the reports. Well, I have. That's also part of my job.
Well, barring that, is there anything else that seriously needs attention?
Well, the next bit of business after that, we do have a request from, well, not a request, an order, from Rear Amonia for a official in-person report to pass up the line to the council. So, Fleet Captain, you'll either need to go there yourself or send someone. Ideally, you would go yourself to make such a report, along with chosen staff, to give as in-depth a report as possible to her staff, because right now we all know out here that what we did was the right call. Our admirals know everything's the right call, but on record we need to make sure that we follow all the protocols of our offices to ensure that civilians back home don't think we're just waging proxy wars and private wars out here. I mean, this isn't the battle days of the first Klingon War.
I'm sure that the casualty reports among the hoplites were concerning.
Yes, the hoplite program seems to be getting high marks from security, but there are some concerns in the council that it is a return to ways that we've moved away from. Like, I know that it works out here, and we train, and we all know them. They've upheld all the traditions of Tiger Squadron and the Kismet even, but this sounds like the Mako, and the word that's a phrase that spooks a lot of people in the home systems. I mean, I know I've heard from my family on Luna that there's a lot of people spooked about new strike forces on the frontier, special ops type soldiers, and all those such scary stories. So the council needs to hear that they're just a hazard team like any other. They just have a nice name.
I mean, I can understand people getting nervous when they hear of like Makos and Marines and hoplite strike teams. But as much as the Federation and the Starfleet don't like to admit it, things like that are needed from time to time, especially in high-risk areas. I'm not
with
encouraging...
all due respect, sir, that's what Admiral Shisha Srier used to say.
Yeah, I know, but that's not the point.
Politically, that's the point, sir. That's our problem. I mean, she was a respected Andorian. There are many Andorians who still think we should be going back to the ways of the Grand Marshals and such. And although Shishisur's organization fell apart, there's still that big push for militarization. Actually, one of the protesters to this event is one of the captains here in the 10th Fleet, Captain. What's his name? It's a Cation name. Athaton apparently is protesting the formation of of this hoplite group.
Well, if he wants to come here and have a discussion, I'll happily have a discussion with him.
I've had to speak with him a couple of times.
But yes, I agree that we shouldn't always go for the aggressive route or the military route. But it's ridiculous to think that we should just throw away things that we've used and sometimes need just because it makes everyone feel uncomfortable. What if you were told as an Andorian no more Ushans could be made because people don't like blades?
Good riddance. It's a tradition that has tied us to our military past, and I think, frankly, that we need to move forward into our more artistic and cultural future. That said, that's why, like, I carry an Ushan and I practice with it, even as a half Andorian, but out of respect of my mother. But when it comes down to it, I think that we are too tied down by our past. And although that isn't similar to our situation here with the hoplites and all this, Starfleet hasn't had, and this is what's spooked people in a different way. This is why I'm kind of agreeing with you in a way, sir, that Starfleet traditionally doesn't have militant arms. They don't like that idea. It spooks people because traditionally we haven't had it before. My argument is that traditions sometimes need to be changed, not so we can go to some new Federation empire, but we do need to tell the people that we serve back on Earth or Teller Prime or Bajor or elsewhere, people we've never even met before, and let them know that we're not trying to wage wars. We're just trying to be more ready to defend them.
These hoplites aren't our front line.
Yeah. Like that's a myth I keep hearing back at Luna, that they're frontline, like a strike squad, and that they've never been used for that. They've been used for like emergency. They're a hazard team, and hazard teams have been around for the last 3-5 years.
Then maybe I shouldn't too directly reference their usage in Phase 3 of the action against the Dusk Machine.
That's exactly the situation you'd use a hazard team in.
Yes, precisely a team you'd use a hazard team in.
Sir,
if a regular security detachment in there, they would die.
And they were crucial in the second phase.
I'm afraid the official language used of requiring an infiltration team for the Dusk Machine might be misconstrued by some.
I mean, look at the beachhead from the Gungnir. Didn't they use hoplites as well?
And
they did, sir.
Infiltration team is what the Klingons did.
With the assistance of one of our intelligence officers. She nods at Varder.
That was weird wearing Klingon armor. Heavy armor.
What I would advise, sir, is to be cautious. Yes, be cautious about how you talk about it, but I wouldn't want to downplay or hide their usage too much, because then it sounds like unless we're folding them into Starfleet intelligence and just classifying them to high heaven. But to the Admiral, we could do that with the Council to a degree, but at some point we have to give them a straight answer about what they are and what they're for. Because right now, the only people who really know the entirety of the Hoplite program is this squadron. Even the Gungnir and the Ganymede don't know the entirety of what the Hoplites are. Other than their Starfleet Marines, she shrugs, which is sort of correct, but not accurate.
Look, I'm not going to be the right person to speak to them about this, because they're not going to understand my view of using the right tools for the right jobs. So, let's be honest, they're not going to listen to me when it comes to this.
I can do that, but Grennan talks about the politics, I'll talk about the fighting. I'm just security man, that's my job.
Very good.
The intelligent part of my job.
Just looking through remotes. Sorry.
I do believe the Klingons like the hoplites.
Yes. Oh, that is the next point.
Bet they do.
God.
The Klingons, yeah.
Yeah. So from what I'm hearing from through channels in the Klingon Empire, this House of Gitta apparently is a High Council member.
Yes.
And they don't. I've been hearing that they might be stationing themselves permanently out this way, which means the Empire cares what's happening out here, and I don't think they're here to look at how pretty DSE is. I think they might have designs on the Pedro subsector or the areas trailing away from us. Because they know about the Silk Road. Like, they've been already briefed on that, but they may try to expand next to us. Although whether or not this Oda Joseph Gitta goes out there to seize his own fiefdom, I don't know. I don't know the man. But that's a lot of ships.
I had a hard time getting a read on him myself.
There's an easier way to do that.
He's very Klingon.
Yeah, just beat the shit out of him. Let him beat the shit out of you. Then he'll probably tell you his plans.
I mean, yes, that might work. Because when we found what was the boss's name? Banan. He challenged him to a duel. They had a duel in the middle of a raid on the station. Interesting. But very, very traditional in some aspects, very irregular in others.
More than likely, as long as you treat him Klingon-ish, like other fucking Klingons, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to get along with him.
Well, I'm not so much worried about getting along with them. It's more that we may have Klingon conquering happening right next to us, and then our neighbors wondering what we're going to do about it. But he may have no interest in all. For all we know, he could be out here to do training exercises. But with a small squadron that is as big as ours and has more firepower than ours, that can cloak, and from what reports I hear, they seem to have some sort of advanced cloaking technology. That is a lot of military power sitting in our sector.
No. That was to be revealed if they're going to be in the sector. Then that is congratulations. You now need to know. They have the most advanced cloaking system that is known to us.
Like, do you mean ever?
Yes.
How do you mean, Varder?
The House Rasa. They are known for their scientific progress, and they have been focusing their attentions on developing cloaking technology. They have a three-part system? Is it a two-part or three-part system? Two-part system. A cloak which can be used, fired out of while still active. I believe the shields can remain up as well. I need to open the file. And the heat sinks and EPS conduits are covered under a heat masking lattice. Makes them incredibly hard to detect. Where is my...
Yeah, I heard the battle report when that ship just decloaked right in front of the Kismet. I mean, that's a big feat considering it's a flying sensor boat.
Right, yes, here it is. Okay. No. Wrong file. Holy hell, where did I put this?
I feel your pain, Varder.
I mean, if
so many files to keep track of.
If need be,
I sent it to Myth, but I've somehow lost it since I sent it to Myth.
Just sort of say if Grennin's going to see Naya, I can have a chat with this Hod Oda Jo Subgita.
I'm afraid we won't be able to speak with him for a while. He's currently under medical review by Dr. Efrix. Apparently something to do with the wound he suffered.
Yeah.
He's going to be under heavy medical treatment for the next couple weeks.
Well, I can just play with his crew then. Surely some of them will have something to say.
I'm surprised that his house is allowing him to undergo medical treatment from a Federation team.
They have a hold on. I don't deal with Klingons much.
Oh, here it is. Right.
Lore singer, historian type. They have or advisor. She is, for one, she's Orion, and for two, she is been a voice of progressive Klingon politic about trusting alien technology when it suits the needs of the Empire. So Dr. Efrix is the preeminent expert on the Kashoans, and he seems to have a Kashoan crystal within him now.
It replaced his heart.
Yeah. Well, his heart's there, and so is the crystal. She rubs her head.
They're essentially the same thing, like how my bones are.
It would seem so, yes. I've been trying to help Dr. Efrix with it because that shouldn't, like, it being in bones makes sense from a parapsychological point of view.
Parapsychonical.
Bones are solid, crystal are solid.
Parapsychological point of view, yes. And bones are solid, heart is muscle, and muscles don't react very well to being crystallized very well. Yet his is pumping. I don't know how crystal pumps, but apparently that's a thing. And from what you reported, it was when he ripped it out. Yep. She shivers. It was pumping when he took it out in the first place. So,
yep,
that's weird. So once me and Dr. Efrix figure out what the heck we're looking at, I can report more on it. But for now, she's talking in areas. I'm trying to pull from the Midnight Watch to see what they know on the topic. She shrugs. I'll know more sooner rather than later, I hope.
And to correct myself on that, on the cloak, they don't have their shields up, but they can fire just fine. It's an advanced cloak. And that's combined with the baffling system, which is energy signature dampening meshes on EPS conduits and the hull. It reduces its heat and power signature, which would be normally how we detect something.
Wait,
has to...
wouldn't that also hide them even when they're not cloaked if it's covering the energy systems?
Passively, yeah. They're passively harder to find. You need to... At longer ranges, it will be much more difficult to see them.
That explains why we keep having them pop. I've had a few incidents where we've accused them of decloaking too close to our docking rings, but maybe that's not what's happening. Maybe they're just flying right up to us, bold as brass, and we just can't see them until they're on top of us.
Oh, I'm sure they're playing with us.
And testing the DSC's sensor net. I don't like that. I mean, I know they're allies, but that makes me nervous.
They don't necessarily know that we know about this. I've known about this for a while. It's just been neat to know. I've also known Subguta would likely come down here for a while. It's also neat to know. So, sorry. Myth has been working on a way to counter their cloak. Although recent events kind of put a halt on that for other priorities.
Yeah.
She will likely be able to resume work on that, situation permitting.
Very good.
Yeah, just inform me when Oda is available for a conversation. Sure. One of us has to talk to him.
She types on her pad. I'll have someone in my medical, someone give me a heads up.
Yeah, I got along well enough with him.
Lastly, I can, both as a member and officially, note that it seems the Midnight Watch is, they're busy, but they seem to be indicating that they are increasing their talks with the Illuminated Worlds to try to establish a corner there. Due to the efforts of the Ganymede, it seems that the Federation is thought of rather favorably these days. And the Minute Watch has actually been helping us for once in that regard. Usually, I mean, not that they've ever officially talked the Federation down, but they've never talked it up before. And that said, I can looks at Varder. Myself and Varder have been invited to speak with Captain exactly what the Watch is going to do regarding the Dawn Machine, because I can tell you that the Watch would have incredible interest in a large sonic device like that. That said, I imagine the Quaqua want it, and last I heard, it was offered to the Star Admiral as her new throne, or something to that effect. Or
yes, someone did suggest that.
Oh dear.
What do you mean, oh dear? It was you who suggested that.
It is
It's your oh dear.
Yes.
I mean, more than
It's all
likely,
just
the Quaqua are going to claim it's just, even if it's just to scrap it for materials.
Yeah.
Well, having any one particular power in control of the entire entity is concerning.
Yes, that was my
collaborative effort could probably be negotiated.
But that would
Just
have to
me
be
saying that.
that would have to be
Or at the
negotiated with the Quaqua.
Or at the very least, if the Quaqua are to have general control over the machine, hopefully we could at least negotiate for the other powers and perhaps even the Federation to have a voice on the station.
The station itself is more or less useless at this point, aside from scrap technology.
That's what I mean.
And
More than likely, they would just scrap it, take what they can from it, and just recycle usable material.
Which is...
Fleet Captain, when I tried to look up the logs on the Ganymede, the specifics on the final part of Phase 3 weren't entirely made clear. Would you be able to clarify on, did they destroy the core? I know they shut down the engine, that much I heard. That's why we have a dead Hulk in space now, but is their computer core still intact?
My understanding, yes.
She shrugs like, well, that's going to hold a treasure trove of technical data that could...
Clone the data. Everyone wins.
But
right.
Again, that's a situation of we would have to negotiate with the Quaqua for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That includes the Midnight Captain, in case he gets any funny ideas.
I would remind you, sir, that he is an independent citizen, not a member of the Starfleet.
True, but independent action could cause issues for everyone.
If you wish to dress him down officially, sir, you can do so, but I don't think that would be appropriate.
Oh no, I don't need to dress him down. I'm pretty sure he'll figure that out himself.
He's not an idiot.
I'm sure he will understand the gravity of the circumstances.
I'm just letting you two know in case any other members during your meeting with him later decide to think it's a good idea to suddenly just jump aboard a station and clone its computer core.
Well, I'd imagine that would require some highly specialized equipment if they were to attempt it.
Probably. I don't know. I'm not an engineer. I shoot things, and I read files. I read a lot of files.
I mean, let's
speak to the ocean.
Yeah, he does that a lot.
Yeah, well, I mean, not necessarily speak to it. I speak to myself in the ocean. It's weird.
But yeah, let's be honest. Everyone would like the hands on that data. But if they say no, then we can't risk that prodding at another incident.
No, it's not if they say no. They're gonna say no. That's the point of negotiation. Which at that point wouldn't necessarily be an us problem. That'd be a Midnight Watch problem.
Because
Which
I
might
can
be a
say
me
that
problem personally, but
yeah, because they might use the if Starfleet doesn't support the effort, which we want to know it as much as anyone else does through the Federation, but if we stonewall the Watch enough, they'll just go to the Illuminated Worlds. Is part of the issue, but again, I haven't been to the meeting yet. We're supposed to be having it today. Looks at Varder. I think it's today, and we're going to know the official position of the captain, but there's just been a lot of buzz on the station from the Watch members about this new station, because it's almost every other thing we've discovered about the preserver tech that we've been running into has been warp based or some sort of propulsion base or computing base. This is the first psionic base we've run into, which means, the Maxwell Planck is based off of some of the experimental warp technology we ran into. That's why we have a warp 10 capable, a somewhat stable warp 10 capable ship now. If we could, I personally, as a parapsychologist, would love to pull that thing apart just from a Starfleet point of view. But like you say, it's one of those things where we have to negotiate access to. It's just that we're negotiating access with a power that's at war with itself.
Indeed, and that's and so by the sounds of it, this is an entirely new field of technological development.
no, not entirely new. It's
but as a basis
for the Watch has been going through.
But as a basis for technologies?
Sure. It's easier to just agree with you than try to explain something different to you.
Well, I'm just advising against hasty actions.
Yeah, well, we've been good at not just rushing into things.
Yes, I
Speaking
know.
of, how's Adler? Is she recovered?
She is she's stable, but during the fleet action last week, her situation did degrade, and she's been in our station med bay for the last week. We're trying to figure out exactly how much of that was torture she endured, how much of that is the despair wave that washed over us. Since it seems that even with the shielding, there are some residual effects, and she was already fairly weakened to begin with. So
she was being tortured when the wave first affected us. Anyway.
Yeah. So physically, she's fine, but parapsychologically, she's badly wounded still, and we haven't been able to stabilize her in that regard. I've been trying to. The thing is, triage comes into it. We have hundreds of other people who are, as we speak, under the knife because they will die otherwise. And politically, Oda gets more push than Adler does. I've been attending to her myself, along with some of the parapsychologists I've been able to requisition from elsewhere, but it's slow going. I haven't been able to get Efrix aside to deal with the project herself for the last week. She's just been too busy, and she's the person I need to fix this.
Okay. So say, won't True Love's first kiss over there help?
Don't encourage him.
Actually, there is theory about the love angle in the sonic field. The ocean can reverberate due to... Oh, that was a joke. Sorry.
It was a joke, but if that's an actual thing, that's just fantastic.
I'm sure it would do her good to see you, but...
Yeah, that's the most I can say on that matter. She is stable for now, but as I say, it's one of those things where I need more advanced treatment methods, and I don't have access to that. Requires surgery, and that I'm not a surgeon, so
yeah.
Like, I know the theory of what we need to do, but I actually need hands that are trained better for it.
As long as she's not dying, I don't need to try and do something stupid.
I'll let you know if we get to that point of desperation. I might need your help.
I know I've got a mental link with her. I don't know how much. Well, I know that will help at least a little bit, but I don't know how much.
Yeah. Well, the reason I haven't asked you to help with it right away, sir, is that you're all. The confusion here is I do outrank you, but you outrank me at the same time. So
you outrank me in pips. I outrank you in clearance.
Yes. Well, also in the watch. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I am a special right.
No, ladies, you're both pretty.
I didn't want the bloody thing. You just gave me the pips, and now I'm running this damn problem of yours. She smiles when she says that, though.
We're both pinned projects.
Yes.
Which I don't know how to feel about.
But yeah, no. The reason I haven't asked Varder's help earlier is because of that wound. I don't. Theoretically, the wound could pass on. I'd rather do a less risky maneuver since she's not dying. She's not in imminent danger, but she's in continued danger. So if it gets to that desperation point, I may need to request that kind of help. But for now, we're not at that level yet, thankfully.
So for now, Grennan, go see your girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. Go see your girlfriend. I'll go see your clone. Ben was going to see someone.
Well, I'll probably just end up doing paperwork. You know, that's always fun.
Yeah. And then Grennan figures out who he's taking to Aegeus. Wright and I have a meeting. As far as I recall, I think at Grennan's it's going to be yourself and maybe me that you're taking to Aegis.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, brilliant, great. Let's get her done. If there's anything else.
Well, luckily, Commander Wright, looks like I'll be doing half the paperwork, or probably even more.
Yeah.
I would normally say I wouldn't wish that on anybody, but for all that is holy, please.
Hey, I don't like it as much as you.
Who said I liked it? I'm just good at it.
Again, I don't like it. I don't like it as much as you.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
You've got a new
I see what you now mean.
Through her paces. Frolic is probably busy.
If it helps any, I can call Isala in to help with some of the paperwork as well. She's a competent administrator.
I'll have some offices set up on the station to give us a bit more working room, in case, because the Kismet's probably going to take off here in a bit. Because I imagine you're not going to take a runabout all the way out to Starbase.
No, certainly
not. 2 other points before we adjourn. The Lieutenant Talin reports that the Bellatrix and its resupplies to Starbase Aegis are going well. They haven't been attacked. The Indolin problem hasn't affected our connection back to base, so that's good. And on a medical front, on behalf of the medical department for the squadron, I can report that from the Gungnir, we have a bunch of persons who are, how do I put this? They are Indolins who have lost their minds and have now shapeshifted into the form of Aquaqua Duchess and her entourage, who were lost when the Dusk Machine first started. They're very convinced that's who they are, and they have information to that effect. Their doctors did what they could, but we're trying to see if we can heal the mental strain. But that's linked to the despair wave illness that has struck people as well. So
that was a full psionic imprint, essentially.
Yeah, well, almost like an imprint with some of the lines missing, so they're a little confused. But they forget who they are as Indolans.
Like when I'd imagine a similar process in theory to how Grennon's clone has all of Grennon's memories. It's just like shoving that.
A similar method, yeah.
I'm being a lot less technical with language here because I don't know the language.
I'm preventing going into the actual linguistics, the actual jargon of it. But it's suffice to say it's complicated. But I'm handling it myself because this is more of a parapsychological problem than it is a surgical problem. So,
if you want, I can join our paperwork session. I'll make some requests for some more temporary medical staff, but I'm not touching that conversation with a starship-sized pole.
Oh, actually, what you might want to do, sir. Well, I'll walk you through it after this when we get to the paperwork. But I think we could probably call in one of the medical auxiliaries, like some of the civil medical auxiliaries, over, because they can't really talk about the Kashoan problem, but they can certainly talk about the Indolans, and that may speed up our research.
So we've got Outpost Sierra Alpha over Scythe.
Yeah.
One, their command staff owes me a few favors, and two, we're allied with them.
I mean, they can spare us more Starfleet medical officers. That would speed things up, so we don't have to wait for Aegis to clear it.
That, and they're over Scythe, so people who need leave can go that way.
Just say if you reach out and get them to reach out to me, I'll sort the paperwork out.
Here, you can just, if you're talking to whom is it? That's their commanding officer. I don't know. I've got them. They've got favors with them, and their chief of security, Lieutenant Commander Kenneth Volante. And was it Lieutenant Fleur Barrick? Yeah.
Yeah, I said that's fine. I'm gonna be staring at fucking data pads for the next week.
Oh well, yeah.
Better that than a barrage of enemy fire.
No, I'll take the enemy fire.
At least then Penn can shoot back.
Oh no, I can shoot a data pad at someone. They're just not going to enjoy it.
Please don't, sir.
Brennan instinctively puts his hand to his shoulder and lightly grasps it.
Are you all right, sir?
Fine.
You got hit with a tray. That's what set all this off.
Oh.
Is that all then, sir? Sir?
That will be all.
And if not, just calm one of us and make our day even worse.
Oh, I'll try.
That seems to be my specialty.
We know.
Night makes her way out.
Yeah, Pence is going to head to DSE and call Isala to help him with the mountains of paperwork for the next week.
Yeah, and, if you need my favors penned, go for it. It's not the commander of the station, it's their chief of security and their chief of operations that I have favors with. But that's two of his senior staff, so
Yeah, look, I'll probably be calling on a lot of things and doing a lot of administration.
That's not even counting. We just have a default alliance with Scythe Station as it is, so...
Have you noticed I do this quite a lot, this administration stuff now?
Yeah.
I'm not the fleet...
to be the strategic operations officer of the fleet.
I'm not the fleet captain.
No, you're the strategic operations officer. You're supposed to make the fleet captain's job easier.
So is there anything the fleet captain's doing before leaving the conference room?
Not before leaving the conference room.
Just make sure you take that breath mint before you kiss your girlfriend.
So, lots of Klingon ships.
Many.
Because you have House Talpock ships and House of Gitta ships and some House Andrus ships.
And then the one fucking Ferengi
And then
somewhere. Well, no, not the one Ferengi. He's got a different trade ship aside from his Marauder. Doesn't he?
Yep,
so it is a Decora class.
He has a Decora class, and he has a. Supposedly, he's going to try to sell the Decora back to the FCA. So
I don't know if he's trying to sell it back to them, or if he's trying to sell the idea of letting them him keep it.
Yeah.
He's not selling the ship to them. He's trying to sell the idea of keeping him as captain.
That is the most Ferengi thing I have ever heard.
Yeah, no, I picked up a few things from in the.
It's your former captain. He likes his Ferengiism.
He was trying to sell me a fucking.
I was gonna say, how is he as a Ferengi? I gotta know.
He's very good.
Oh, yeah.
He's
very
good. A little bit I spoke with him. He was trying to sell me a fucking neural whip. I already have a neural whip. He's trying to sell me it anyway.
The newer model.
He didn't even say that. He said you could always dual wield.
So, who is the first to act in this scene of as people spread out across the ships and station?
Alright, let's go talk to
Knowing that he's not gonna get an opportunity for a while, Grennan is gonna drop in on Adler.
Come on.
True love's kiss.
To the medical bay.
No.
She's not present.
Where is she?
She's in the background.
She's in yet another medical bay elsewhere on the station because, oh god, so much to do.
She's currently appearing in a different show at the moment.
New Amsterdam? Oh wait, an actual good show.
Doesn't exist.
So you step into the medical bay. Some of the medical staff direct you to where Irene Adler is lying down. That'd normally be a main surgical bed, but this is just one ward of many of the various injured people. You see staff milling around, trying to treat everybody. Though you haven't been restricted access because no one here is critical, like no one, so they don't need to clear the room or put up the surgical force fields.
Brennan just casually walks in.
Like how casual? Are you whistling casual?
No.
Okay.
But just sort of casually looking around.
And medical ensign kind of walks over. Oh, fleet captain. Hello. How can I help you, sir?
I was told that this was the medical bay that Irene Adler was in.
Yes, sir.
Would you mind directing me?
Sure, sir. Follow me.
Thank you.
This is Miss Adler, sir.
All right. I'll be fine now, Ensign, as you were.
Sir? Are you family with the patient?
We're very close acquaintances.
Nobody wants to start one.
Sir, well, it would be inappropriate for me to leave my patient who may need medical attention, sir. Just, if you have any medical questions or anything like that, I can try to answer them to the best of my ability, sir. But,
I'll call for you if I need anything, Ensign.
Well, the thing is, sir, see, there's division of power between command and medical. Technically outrank you somehow as a doctor, so I'll have to say no, sir. Folds his arms.
Precious.
Precious. All right, I suppose I'll have to just be out with it then. The two of us are in a relationship.
May I ask what sort of relationship, sir?
A romantic one.
Ah, that wasn't in the file. Hmm. 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 Hmm.
I didn't want to make a big deal of it.
Ah, well. So you're here as a visitor, not to debrief your prisoner.
Brennan narrows his eyes.
It's on the file. She's marked as a prisoner. That's why I was being cautious with you, sir. We tend not to. We've been trained not to let security do what they want with our medical base because the doctor's duty is to their patient first. And you are probably
Right. I understand, and
yeah,
I expect you to do what you can to keep her in good health.
Good. All right then. So you are a visitor then. You're not here to interrogate.
Yes, I am. Okay. I am here as a visitor. I don't think I could interrogate her if I want.
She taps at the control. Harmon Gren. How do you spell Harmon, sir? Oh, I can just look it up. Sorry. Harmon Gren. 2 N's. Oh.
Ends up typing in Herman.
Herman.
Fleet Captain. Visitation on Stardate 5610.
Gren just sort of crosses his arms and waits for the doctor to finish typing it in.
3. Attending physician, Dr. Foxwell, Zivian. Are you going to be here for, is it a short visitation or do you need a chair or anything, sir?
I think this will be a short visitation.
Oh, okay.
Just a kiss and I'm gone.
Visitation.
Cold, Brennan. Cold.
All right, sir. All right, I have your paperwork done. I'll just be in the office.
All right, I'll let you know if I need anything.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Irene. I know that until everything was cleared up with you, I wasn't supposed to really see you or have a conversation with you or anything, but well, I don't think you're really capable of having a conversation with me right now. So I guess in that regard, we're okay. And I don't know why I'm talking to you like you can hear me, but here we are. Look, we're gonna have a talk when you get out of this, because you will get out of this. I know you, Irene. You'll get out of this. But we are gonna have to have a talk, and believe me, my feelings are confused and jumbled up right now, and that's just not a place I can be. So I'm gonna have to just suck this all down and hold it back. We're definitely gonna talk about this, though. You know, it's probably the first time I've talked to you and not have you immediately come back at me with some snide remark about my hair color or how little I understand about psionics, but I'm getting there. Yeah. Yeah, there's I'm sure we'll talk about it later. It was good to see you again, Irene. I'm sure this is the kind of speech that you would absolutely hate. And I know it. It's long, it's boring, it's rambly. It's one of my damn speeches, but you know, this is just how I do things. I'll see you later, Irene. And Grennan is going to kiss her forehead.
Fitness medicine.
Fitness plus medicine. Difficulty.
It's as if we were all pushing this to happen.
4.
Oh no!
It's as if we all knew this was going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate all of you so much. I hate you all.
I'm just sitting there like, wow, they called it.
Take 3 threat.
Sure.
Well, why not go big?
Or go home.
I believe he is home.
To be fair, if he fails this, I don't think he's going home.
Or he might be going
Actually,
home.
wait, I've got a better idea. Take 2 threat instead of 3.
Okay.
I am going to spend a determination towards the value.
Oh.
Hopeless romantic.
Yep.
But you have to kiss her on the lips.
Oh, shush you. This is a family show.
Since when?
I did it. I generated
my
a momentum.
Yeah, I didn't sign up for a PG-13.
No, it's G-rated. We have a musical next episode.
Oh no.
If we've got a musical next episode, you better fucking keep your word.
I'm sick next week.
God.
Yeah, no. When you kiss her, you see a brief glimpse of the horrible things she endured while in captivity, being mixed and melded with the terrible despair and horror of those who were sacrificed to the Dusk Machine.
Grennan just immediately jerks back.
Yes, you do, because you made the check. Because otherwise, you wouldn't have broken the meld. Like you actually had to physically shove yourself away. Like it took effort to do that.
Yeah. And just he puts his hand over his mouth.
You come away with blood as you seem to have bit your own lip. Or she did. You're not sure. You were kind of dazed for a second.
And, he pulls his hand away from his mouth and sees the blood on his hand. Oh, God. And he just closes his eyes and, a couple tears roll down his cheeks.
And we close the scene there?
Grennan will walk out, and as he does, he'll look to Foxwell and say, I'm done here. Take good care of her.
Sir. Foxwell just leaps out of his chair. Sir, you're bleeding. Stop.
and even as the ensign tries to stop him, Grennan's just walking out, blood on his hand.
Sir, how are you to stop? Come back.
Please.
I'm trying to do my job. Stop being difficult.
Yeah.
His job.
Captains never listen to medical officers. Haven't you learned?
That's why he put a dodgy shoulder.
So Fleet Captain Grennan enjoys the blood sacrifice that he has drawn. I mean, he's busy. What is everyone else doing?
I have to talk to the other Grennan.
The other Grennan.
The better Grennan.
So is that one called Sherman?
Herman.
Ooh,
This one's
there's a
Herman.
reference.
Herman Grennan.
That's how we can tell the difference. It's not a goatee. It's just misspelled.
Oh, that's right. He's got a cell and everything.
Of course he's got a cell.
It's quite a nice cell, all things considered.
Yeah,
This is like a VIP cell or something.
it feels like it.
Commander?
Ensign?
Is this on the station?
Yeah.
Okay. I put you in the wrong spot on the map. That's my bad. You're on the station. I can help you, sir.
You can lower the shields. I'm going to talk with our... Oh, at this point, guest.
Aye, sir. Shield comes down.
Sir Grennan. I don't believe we've met too often. I think more in passing than anything else.
You know I remember you, Varder. It's not like I've never met you before.
So, that's where weird technicalities come into it. Cause... Yeah. Anyway, I've got to talk to you about a couple of things regarding your status.
Oh?
Well, you are... Well, you are what you are. There's no really easy way to say that. You're not our fleet captain. You have your own standing. You're your own person, but you're not in Starfleet. You're a civilian.
Yeah, I figured that was coming.
So,
Spend long enough in the Federation legal system, and you start to work out some of these puzzles well in advance.
but what you do have are options, because you are a Federation citizen. You are also a Knight of the Realm, so that gives you more options than most would have.
You have a point.
And that's something I would like to discuss with you. And given you're presently being released,
Oh,
well,
about time.
we might need to walk and talk as we find you some quarters, no?
Yeah, I think I'm about ready to get into an actual bed again.
They have an actual bed in there.
You know what I mean, Varder.
No, I slept on the rocks for like the first half of my life.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
joking.
I forget. Grennan's, is Grennan wearing, like, sort of, like, regulation, or, well, what's he wearing? Is he, like, in just sort of plain clothes?
If they would have given you a change of clothes to your request, you came with in Qua knight's armor and uniform. They took the armor off when they imprisoned you, obviously. You have like very elaborate like cyan and purple robes that you would normally wear in the knighthood
It stands
to indicate your rank. So whether you change out of those or you kept them and just keep having them washed, that's up to you. They wouldn't give you a Starfleet uniform due to your
No.
restrictions.
He's going to be wearing just sort of plain, regular Federation clothes.
Okay, so he's just in civil wear.
Civil wear. He says, I have a lot of thinking to do, he says, getting up.
Well, you've got a lot of thinking, and I don't imagine you've been getting too much information while inside a cell. So
No.
I should, as a decent person, keep you informed of what has changed since you arrived here. That'll be, just a not quite a beckon,
Sir
but
Gren
like a gesture
crosses
of
his arms. Everything that you're allowed to tell me, of course. And he gives a wry smile.
I'm an intelligence officer. That is my job. I keep secrets even from you.
Weird to be on the receiving end of that. And he follows you.
You're normally on the receiving end of that. There are things I know that captains don't need to know.
Oh, great. Love it. All day, every day.
Mm-hmm. So, ow.
Kind of walking along, various people every so often just sitting at rest areas and chatting.
Mm-hmm.
The occasional officer walking by. Sir? And then a look at Gredin and, sir? Carry on.
That's not even something worth trying to explain away. Right. So, the Federation itself, more or less the same as you remember it. Nothing's really changed in that regard.
I don't doubt that in the least.
To our Galactic East, because I can't remember the other term.
Trailing.
The entire situation of that has been going through some upheaval.
Upheaval?
The Steel Prince tried to do something stupid, and the thing that normally happens to stupid people happens. Which I'm giving him a minute.
Are we talking the gets thrown off a parapet type of thing happening to him?
No, that's what you tried to do to him.
Yes.
No, a Klingon stabbed him.
Oh.
After
Potato.
After he sacrificed a significant portion of his own for personal power.
Sir Grennan appears to be mulling that over, like in trying to realize what you just said. Wait. Half of what?
No, I just said a significant portion of his people. I didn't say half.
You mean everything?
A significant portion of his people, yes. Of all of his people. I mean, all of the Quaqua directly. I don't think it affected the staff here at the Owaxo as much.
What was he doing that he was willing to throw that many people at it?
That you will end up finding out eventually, one way or the other. And
that's not reassuring, Varder.
Walking up to the two of you as you're walking along, notice there is a Star Captain. You recognize them for their sword and pistol combination and the uniform, but this is not Koshi. This is a Star Captain that you've met all of once. Insight command difficulty 1.
For both of us or one of us?
For you, actually, it's one of you leads, one follows. But I just realized that you're Sir Grennan, so you actually would have a difficulty of 0.
No.
Oh, then I'll roll this.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I don't recognize her. I mean, I recognize the name. I just don't remember where from.
Grennan. You said Insight Command?
Yes, yes.
I'm gonna spend a momentum for a third die just for the sake of the reroll.
Yeah.
You would.
We like extra juice.
Juice.
Oh, I didn't change my thing, so that just rolled as yeet.
Just yeet that roll into the ether.
That's what I normally do.
Star Captain Laka is one of the royal advisors to the Steel Prince, or was when the Steel Prince was alive. You met Laka at the audience chamber on Cooley.
Right. Yes.
She is a member of, and now because of that role, Grennan, you also. Oh wait, sorry, Grennan, you don't know this, but when Grennan, because you both made the role, Varda, you kind of get it as well. Where it's
Grennan's like Captain Laka.
And then when you hear the name, it clicks on in your head. It's like, oh, that's from an intelligence point of view. It's like, oh, that's this person under this person. And Laka who used to be under the Steel Prince, is currently now under the Star Admiral, because the Star Admiral is of the Quaqua Royal Navy now. She's the admiral of the fleet that Laka's a member of.
Yeah.
So her superior is Koshi.
Wait, so was she there when I tried to murderize the Steel Prince?
No, that was the Knights. Star Captain was not present at that time.
Laka was recently just fighting against us, though. But,
Although you also know, Varda, that Laka was there at the battle.
Yeah.
At the fleet battle.
Like all of the Star Captains were.
Yeah.
She survived, though, so.
Yep.
Good for her.
No.
Commander Varda?
Star Captain Laka, if I
Yes.
recall correctly.
You have that correct, Commander. I believe that you and I have unfinished business since our battle got so rudely interrupted. Some people look over, like some civilians are looking over, like, what's going on?
I don't believe I'm familiar.
Well, it wasn't like your ship and mine were trading valiant shots across space. So I thought I'd give you an opportunity, and myself an opportunity, to finish our point of honor. Not to the death. I mean, my admiral is an ally of yours now, so I suppose to the first cut would be fine enough. Because I assume the gentleman here is not going to take up his own defense. And as I understand it from your ways, that you are his what's the wording? Chief of Security and Intelligence Officer. So you're of some tactical importance.
You are correct in that regard. However, this individual is not the gentleman Grennan. And I believe actually his station would make it appropriate for me to introduce him. This is Sir Grennan.
We have no knights that are human. She glares at Grennan, like it's not accusing Varda, it's glaring at Grennan like he's the one fault. Which, Grennan, you know without rolling that, yeah, it sounds like you're impersonating a rank you shouldn't have. It's like a Klingon warrior saying, yeah, I'm of the council. You're human. Yeah, I'm of the council. The hell you are.
In my time when I was with the Steel Prince, would I have been aware that like I had an official title and that like that was something in the records?
Yep. Oh yeah, you're in the nightly roll. Whole crap ton of nights, so it's easy for one track of. Because remember the Dawn Machine had over 200 pilots.
Yes.
They were all knights. It's a knight per suit.
Yeah.
It could be 2 knights in a suit because it does 2-seater.
Sometimes if that's a specialization, if it's a particularly complex mech, then a mobile armor, then that's an issue. One moment, please.
Oh yeah, okay, so we're doing Pacific Rim rules. Got it.
Sometimes, yeah. I remember I was in that one mech suit with the other dude.
Yeah, where Koshi nuked you.
Yeah, where Koshi nuked me.
Oh, I remember.
And he also tried to eject me before that.
Good times.
We had a friggin' standoff in
Memories.
the cockpit. That was an interesting. I could eject you, yeah, but I'll pull the pin on this grenade.
Have fun.
I guess we're at a standstill then. Yep. Because I can survive being ejected, you can't survive the grenade. Ah, such are the situations.
I has returned.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome.
But yes. The last thing I said was yes. That's. But it.
You cut out quite a bit there, bud.
Well, too bad. You're just gonna have to guess at what I said.
Well, she surrenders and walks away. Great.
But yes.
Okay.
So what do you do with this information?
It should be in the records. The Steel Prince brought me into his court. He had machinations beyond my understanding at the time. But, well, now I'm a little bit more knowledgeable. But the rank should still be there.
If you want to take the time to verify that, Star Captain, we can wait right here.
She strides into a nearby library room. Checks the computer.
Waits for the yelling to begin.
Specifically trying to
She didn't find shit.
permit you as your own yeah, as basically trying to permit you to be your own distinct thing. Their sir is still appropriate, but weird to say.
Well, I didn't find any Sir Herman Grennan on file, so I think you're a liar.
Herman with an A.
With a what?
Harmon.
Herman. That's what I said.
If you'll allow, well, you know, I was about to say if you would allow me to check, but I don't think you want an intelligence officer to another entity touching your files.
It's part of the official rules. It's a position of honor.
Oh.
There's no secret of it. He's just not there.
Then if you would want to watch me check, double check.
Oh, fine.
Great.
Yeah.
What I need to do here.
Can we just say, when you find the correct spelling, just still point it out as Herman?
Yes.
Barter fails the roll, and he's
Yeah.
like,
Oh, you're not there, I guess.
it's like, oh, Herman Grennan didn't find it.
Lead by example.
I have to say no here because
Damn.
they did it first.
I was gonna say because I'm trying to be diplomatic in this.
Add complication.
Complication. Okay. I always say complication. That's fun. Give you a momentum. Lovely. Okay. Yeet. I get an assist from the computer.
Well, so far we've got it back.
Yeah. So far we've got it back. So that's the computer. The
DSE's
station
computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pen, that's your baby.
No, mine's the Achilles, dickhead.
Oh, I mean, yeah, true. Okay, fine. Let me find a thing. Computer's command, unless anyone else was about to. Nope. Okay. Yeet. No.
We'll just spend
Okay.
2 to squash.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
the best idea. Otherwise, it's gonna say he's demoted or something. I'll be like, oh, whoops.
You actually notice that next to his name is in there. They did spell it right. It's just that was her only problem. She just misspelled it, and the computer was like, nope, that's not in there.
Mhm.
But it also notes that the good knight has a summons to court to account for the actions of his prince and to account for his loyalties.
Except the
Although
prince
that
is dead,
seems
so
to be
it doesn't matter.
that seems to be noted to all that were on Cooley before he left. So there's actually reading between the lines. This looks like their version of a inquiry.
But okay, we'll point that out. They're a simple enough mistake. Spelling in different languages and such is.
Why do they have two different letters for the same sound? English is so strange.
Yeah, no, I can't disagree with you there. Then again, I'm sure we would have disagreements between our own languages as well, so that's why we use translators.
Yes. She steps out of the library room. Well, with apologies, Sir Grennan, I take back the fact that you're a liar, although I must do my diligence. I will gladly offer you my ship to escort you back to Cooley for your inquiry, as I'm sure you're aware.
My what?
It appears that the court of the Steel Prince, which doesn't exist anymore, kind of looking at Locke like, I don't understand how that works.
The throne still stands and his court remains, and his knight, according to the record here, was present before the Dusk Machine was launched. So this knight here is likely partially responsible for its construction and the deaths of thousands.
Oh, actually, that can be cleared up quite simply.
I'm sure it is, but
I
would not presume on a knight's honor beyond that, although I question, no offense to you, sir, but I do question bringing a man who doesn't hear the planet to knighthood, but he probably had some tactical use. Koshi says that some of you men are able to know your way about the stars. I mean, Varder here seems to know his way around a sword. You know your way around what exactly, sir?
A courtroom.
You're a barrister?
Diplomat.
I've dabbled.
I'm sorry? You dabbled. How does one dabble in being a barrister?
The same way one dabbles in being a diplomat and a captain.
Star Captain Laka walks right up to you. Like, she's really close to you and just staring you in the eyes. Are you saying being a captain is something one dabbles in, sir?
No, certainly not. It's something that takes a lot of work. But when all taken together, it's it's a little of this and a little of that.
Roll for me.
Yay.
This is an internal matter between the Quaqua. I don't need to worry about
it. Is it me, or does Grennan just suck dealing with the Quaqua?
He does. He really does.
Yeah.
I was like, that was a massive, just foot in mouth moment.
Yep. Here's what
Dabbling
I'm
in
gonna
being
do.
a Kaplan. Like,
Presence command. I get a free die because diffuse the tension. Because I assume if I fail this, she's gonna sock me.
She's gonna do more than sock you. She's not as nice as Koshi is.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So I get a free die. I'm spending 2 momentum to buy a 4th die. Diplomacy?
Let me think. I mean, I guess it could apply. It's just that smaller scale. That's why I'm like...
Okay, it's fine if not. I
No,
can...
it works. No, it does. I had to think about it a bit.
Okay. For momentum.
You're able to pacify Laka a bit here, because you realizing you hinted that a star captain is just a thing you could do. When you realize in Quaqua society, being a captain is like this super prestigious, very hard to get job. And you were just kind of saying, it's a thing you can dabble in. It's like, no, I'm not having you insult my honor. It's like, no, I wasn't making fun of, because in Quaqua language, culture, you were making a slight at her. You were actively insulting her. And you're like, no, wait, that's not what I meant. I was just saying that's what I do. And, it's a joke. It's a, turn of phrase. You explain the intricacies of it to her. Until she's like, oh, and then she backs off. Like, oh, okay, I get it now.
I think that is perhaps the most accurate depiction of what he is good at that you're ever going to get, Star Captain.
Angering people and then talking them into not killing him. I can see why the prince wanted you as his barrister, although you seem to have failed in his defense.
That's the most surprisingly accurate thing I've ever heard a description.
Wow.
The prince,
Solid.
as we know at the current time, was about to commit a great atrocity when Sir Grennan here departed.
Oh, sorry, I was attempting the joking thing he was doing. Does that come off as an insult?
No.
I'm just saying that he shouldn't defend him because he was a terrible Quaqua prince who almost led us to destruction.
I was taking a chance to point out that
Grennan Sir Grennan just holds up his right hand and says, "It is fine."
So the choice is yours, Sir Grennan, as you are a Federation citizen, but also a knight of the Quaqua Court. You can go with the Star Captain Laka, and I will not stop you. If you wish for any of your previous debriefings to assist you in your inquiry for your defense, I can see about arranging those on your behalf.
Very good. Star Captain, I assume it would be permissible for me to make preparations for departure?
Certainly, sir. You just merely need to... Once I'm done with my business with Commander here, I'll probably finish up with my refueling and head back to the fleet. So you can come aboard with me.
Very good. I must get some... I must prepare the information I shall need, and also put together a proper wardrobe.
Well, yes, you are dressed like a
human,
an alien. That does not excuse you of my point of honor with you.
I didn't think it would.
All right.
That I leave entirely to you, Varder.
Yeah,
if you would witness this, sir, to ensure that fair play is involved.
Well,
and Grennan shoots him the same wry smile. I think I can accommodate.
Very well then, and Laka draws her sword to the horror of everyone in the hall.
Doris is going to stand there. Star Captain, as much as resolving the issue here and now is perhaps acceptable on Quaqua vessels and properties, we would have to arrange this in a specific location.
Indeed, I believe a holodeck could be purposed to replicate a traditional Quaqua dueling hall.
A bunch of security officers rush to the location. Put away the sword!
Hold up a hand, like, it's fine.
Okay. They kind of look around like, but they look at the sword. Star Captain just, it's a security hazard to you. Right.
Yeah.
I got that in the briefing. Apologies.
We have many different species that will take the observation of any sort of fight as an invitation to join in.
Oh. That's very alien of them.
The Federation is a very alien thing.
So I am learning. Where's this holodeck, or I assume it's your version of a dueling ground?
It's easier to show you than explain. If you will follow me.
Do you need any help, sir?
No. Thank you, officer.
All right, sir. Don't worry, everything's fine here. But she drew a sword. No, it's okay.
Cultural misunderstanding.
Can I join it? No, sir, you can just stay right there. It's all right. It's
when
fine.
the
We got
Klingon
it.
says that, he will look at the Star Captain like, see.
Just to say, that's becoming Varda's new catchphrase. It's just easier to show you than explain.
It's just easier to show you than explain. Yeah. So I guess I now have to head to it. Honestly, I'll probably be like, okay, pull out a pad and be like, Pand, I'm going into a duel.
Do you need a Macleth?
No. So, Corb, mentioned before that one could use a determination to get a talent for was it a scene or an episode or however long? Like that it had been done. You mentioned that it had happened in the Klingon game. As the weirdest example would be.
I forget the exact ruling on it. Basically, I think it's you benefit from it in a scene or something like that.
Okay. Because I definitely have an idea then, because I am terrible at melee normally.
See, that's why you should team up with the security officer on the Ganymede.
I normally fumble through, but I specifically because it works thematically as this is one of the talents available to me because I did training with the Star Marines.
Oh, okay. So this is specifically from the Klingon book, not in the Starfleet book, but whatever. It's a neat
Makes sense as a Klingon talent even. It's just been reskinned.
Yeah. So as long as you have the prereqs for it, you can.
Yeah, I do.
For that scene. So.
Good to know.
So as you're heading off to a duel, that scene ends. Well, that part of this scene ends, I should say.
That's not
the
Fleet
third
Well,
part.
that's Fleet Captain Grennan.
It's a different Grennan I've got.
Well, he's going to now. No.
Grennan wishes to observe the duel. I probably need to notify the actual Grennan that, hey, I'm going to do a duel on your behalf because there's an angry Star Captain here.
Okay.
What do you mean, K?
Captain Pend, what are you up to?
I assume I have mountains of paperwork between ship repairs, people acquiring more medical staff, Klingons, and Klingons.
Which efforts do you wish to pursue? There are many things to pursue.
I believe
the medical thing, the Klingon thing. There's all kinds of paperwork. It just depends on which issue you wish to try to deal with.
Well, I think Wright mentioned that we do need more medical staff, so I'll definitely try and focus on that.
All right, you are looking at.
Like I said, I'll be calling in Isala to help as well.
Okay, so Isala. Isala. Anyway, Gilligan's Island jumped to mind for some reason, and Isala just not.
I know.
Whatever that silly show was.
I know.
I shall quickly be right back.
Dream of Jimmy? No.
I think you're getting caught up on the wrong thing there, bud.
But you are looking at. Oops. So you're trying to get some medical assistance. This will be an extended roll. And let's see. So, it is a control presence roll plus medical. assisted by Squadron Influence and Reputation. Work 11, Magnitude 3, Difficulty 3. The reason it's this difficult is that it's trying to find the right people as quickly as possible and also people who can get to you in a rapid amount of time. Because if you could, in theory, ask someone from Vulcan to come help you, but it's going to take them a long time to get to you. So you're trying to find Dr. So-and-so. Well, Dr. So-and-so's busy. Oh, can I have this person then? And then so on. Or, hey, who on station such and such can I contact? And then just working through and then helping you figure out, okay, well, we could put them here, you can put them under Dr. So-and-so. Actually, we have that specialization already. So it's a thing. After 7 attempts, that will just you just run out of time because you'd end up having you'd have to do something. You could continue at it, but in theory, but this scene will be over by then because that will cover you doing a ton of work over the course of a day.
I'll do some control medicine. Could I make a play for con or command?
Unfortunately not. You require medical knowledge to know who to grab.
That's perfectly fine. Would you allow me to use the trait of commanding presence?
Yeah. They'll force me to spend 2 threat to keep the diff up because there's no resistance really.
Perfect.
There would have been resistance if your influence was super low, morale was super low, but Tall Grass is doing really well, so still diff 3, but I had to burn 2 threat to keep it there.
Would you allow the focus in negotiation or team dynamics?
Team dynamics.
I'll spend 3 momentum. Okay, so here is penned. Here is Shishashru. Would you allow the focus of protocol?
Yes.
And I need to do a 14 and 10, so 14. So that's 1 more. So gain 3, gain 1 and I'll squash.
Okay. Roll for me 4 challenge dice, please. Oh, influence helps you with this as well.
Yeah, that's what it was, the D12. The D20.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
We had to roll and draw 14. Oh, I'll spend 1 to reroll.
It's 2 work.
Would you take 2 and 1 to push it up to 5?
I'll take 2 and 1, sure. As you push yourself rather hard and start getting a little... Part is that, Bright seems to have done some of the work already, but also the fact that you are throwing your rank around a bit to try to help out. So one of the magnitude you to overcome is the fact that it's just finding the names. All the names that you need. Now it's a matter of, okay, let's reach out and find out if there's ways who can we get here in a rapid amount of time. and then the last magnitude will be trying to convince them to come to you, because a lot of the people you're calling, like the Starfleet people, are the easy ones. It's all the civil doctors that you kind of have to bend their arms a bit to say, "Hey, come out our way."
Yeah.
Even though they already have practices where they are. So you have 6 more attempts. Difficulty is reduced to 2, reduced to 1 due to your commanding presence. You have 5 work done.
I would like to actually direct Isala on this one. And I'll make my assistance a automatic crit.
Okay. So she has to get at least a success for it to fire.
Protocol. Would you allow the determination spend of mission directive?
Not really, no. You don't have a standing mission at the moment.
That's fine. Well, she doesn't have any value, so I'll just reach in.
The diff goes back up to 2 because she's the main roller now.
No, okay.
But, you know, if she gets 1 and you get 2, it's immaterial.
I'll just roll the 2 for her.
And if you end up wanting to apply one of my favors, it's just basically...
No assistance can help.
If
you get old-fashioned whiffed.
Yeah. Okay, no
complication, though. She just runs into bureaucratic slowdown. It happens.
Yep, so that wastes an attempt, and I'll just do it from pen on this one.
Okay.
I'll just roll the 2 again, but from pen this time. So we gain 1 and a comp. No, we gain 1 and a comp.
Take your momentum. I will take my 2 threat. As Wright just points out, there's a couple people like, actually, let's take these people off the list. They're kind of under investigation. Let's just dodge those guys, which slows you down a little bit because Wright kind of finds it out at like the 11th hour sort of thing. He's like, sorry.
Jesus. I'll spend 1 to fucking reroll.
Two, 3, 4.
Do you take 2 threat?
Sure.
That'll push it up to 6 and fill it.
So that is bang and bang, as you are able to throw your weight around quite a bit and get the people you need to start boarding ships and heading your direction.
Yeah, unfortunately, with a medicine of 2, doesn't really help on these type of rolls.
Yeah. It's usually the CMO's problem. Your CMO is occupied, so...
Shit happens.
Yeah, it happens. It's the difficulties of command. New scene, not that it matters for your inspiration. Momentum, rather. One moment. Oh, never mind. I thought someone was coming in.
So if she's here, does that mean there's a Quack carrier here?
No, it's cloaked.
Wait a minute.
That would be quite the paradox.
I was going to say, we had a whole thing about this.
And rather than pull out the full ship, because it would take me a bit to get it. Quaquaw carriers nearby. Who wishes to act in the new scene?
I mean, I've got more paperwork, so it depends if Varda wants his duel or Grenin has anything to do.
Yeah. Like, we could just do the same order again if Brennan's got something to do. If not, I'll do the duel.
I was gonna say, I mean, all Grenin really has to do is hop on board whichever ship is gonna be bringing him to Starbase Aegis and
And help me with
right off into
paperwork,
the sunset.
motherfucker.
Huh?
Then help me with the paperwork.
Do
Sure.
some paperwork until other people are ready to go, yeah.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
I'll help with paper. I'll help with paperwork. I don't mind.
No, I'm just gonna settle the ship and wait. No.
So, who wishes to act first after that? First.
If they're both going to do paperwork, guess I'll do the duel,
All right.
and then they can collaborate on their paperwork. Because that's fun, right?
So, you go to the holodeck and you begin to form up a dueling arena.
Just probably we'll take a slightly irregular route to doing that, in the sense of, here, let the Quaquaw captain see what happens, so that, you know, a little bit of showing off. Just a
Oh, yeah.
little bit. Because it's not something she's seen before, clearly.
So you're showing off your high tech to the yokel.
Yeah.
Look at my toys. It's a Starfleet tactic. They do it all the time.
Yeah.
Look at my cool thing. See, it's cool. Don't you want to be my friend?
Also, poster boy, so I kind of need to, you know.
Play it up a bit.
It's also part of trying to. This is all in good spirit between the two of us. We're not, you know, we're not here to kill each other or make enemies.
Yeah, it's like, here, I'll show you a really cool thing. 1 second.
Yeah.
Oh, can you just have like a little like pad on a ground and a little piece? Like, no. We can do this whole thing.
And yeah, then we can assumably replicate a Quaquaw appropriate area for display. I mean, to show off, we could be like, here's a Klingon one, here's an Andorian one, here's the one we're using, which is Quaquaw. Just rotate through some dueling rings first.
It's like, oh god, that's so. Like the Andorian one, that's so cold. Yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah, no.
What do you mean we have to fight inside an ice cave? That's an Andorian thing. Why with all the lava? That's a Klingon thing.
Yeah, and the pain sticks.
Paint sticks. Is that a dueling ground? No, I'm actually not sure what that is. Tap.
That's for, you know, if you get too close to the edge of the dueling ring, someone pokes you with a pain stick. Clearly.
Oh.
I can see that being a thing.
Yeah. Who needs a cage? We have paint sticks.
Exactly. Is it good to ever use pain sticks?
Oh, they haven't yet. No.
Oh.
Surprisingly.
Yet. What should be the Ferengi who uses them first?
Why the? Okay. Things being weird.
Yeah, that's the talent that I would acquire. Which also gets me a sword. Because I don't have one normally.
Wait, are you getting personal gear? Oh.
We're in a Riggin holodeck, so you can just say that's material. That also explains why I get it for a scene only.
Fair enough, sure.
It's like, the main thing from that is, I bought one of the dice with a d20. Well, I can re-roll my entire dice pool for the melee. And given I don't have any melee focuses, that seems very useful, you know? Which I can also... No, I don't keep it. Damn. Oh well, I've got a bunch of milestones.
Find it. There it is. Oh wait, I know where you guys are. You're in the hole. I'll just grab you from there. Aha.
Oh, very regal looking.
Let us fight under the naked man statue.
Probably a place of importance.
Oh, this is a rather traditional dueling ground. Let's do this one. No one ever duels here back on Cooley.
Is there a reason for that?
It's a bit... People like to show off their new high technology sometimes, but sometimes the classics of our ancestral dueling grounds reminds us of what we're fighting for.
I can understand that. Different angle, but yeah, more or less.
Well, gentlemen, as the... sir, you would stand here before the feet of the Steel Prince, although back then it was the first emperor, not that he lasted very long, but still, his ambition is recognized. The first man to go into space and lose his mind, so, you should relate to each other.
Krenin?
Yes.
That was you.
Could you repeat that real quick?
You stand here, Unga Bunga.
Yeah. Would you please stand here, sir, since this is the spot to witness the fight, and also you are standing next to the first emperor of the and only emperor of the Qualcomm Principality, and the first man to go into space and lose his mind, so you should relate.
Please stand stage center.
She goes down the steps a bit.
Oh. Really materialize a sword at this point. And scabbard, because I'm not just materializing a drawn blade.
Yeah.
That seems stupid.
And are you pulling? And you're pulling from the that warrior spirit's determination spend toward.
I can do that towards many things.
To what in particular?
More can always be learned. Is actually one I'm considering for this one, in the sense of this is a thing specific, or this particular event is from this people. It is not something Varder has really encountered or done before. It's something that he can learn from, and he can learn about Laka from it.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you can spend toward that. So you end up replicating probably a blade similar to hers, because that's what the Marines would have taught you to fight with.
Yeah.
To fight with? To fight with.
Yeah, it is definitely a Quaqua blade. Probably more similar to the Marine ones than anything ornate. Just, yeah.
A good hacking saber.
Mm-hmm.
The sort that so many Starfleet officers saw the bloody end of.
Mm-hmm.
If I can find what I'm looking for, that'd be nice. Where'd it go? Yeah, you stand across from each other. She nods her head to you. So simply to the first blood then. I assume I'm not angry enough with kill you. You haven't killed any of my crew, but I need to finish our fight in a manner fitting of my rank. And I imagine you wish to account for your gentle captain and knight appropriately.
Captain and knight are separate people. But I would wish to account for my captain.
Must be an alien thing, she mutters.
No, that is a separate individual.
Of course, of course.
We can, figure that one out later.
It'd be
Oh, no, she
easier
figured
if
it out,
I
it's fine.
show you.
She totally gets
Mm-hmm.
aliens with their doobly bits and hair. Grows hair on their head. That's just weird. So alien. Ugh. Doesn't it itch? Anyway.
If we're going to perhaps be friends in the future, then we really shouldn't have an unresolved fight between the two of us.
I beg your pardon?
If we're potentially going to be friends in the future, then it's probably best to not have an unresolved fight between us.
Exactly. That's my thought about it. She draws her sword and takes up a fencing stance.
Draw after her, and whatever stance he was taught, because sword practice is not one of his things.
Yeah, she's kind of holding hers out, like she has her arm outstretched and pointing the sword out towards you, more like because her blade seems to be more of a piercing weapon.
Mm-hmm.
But you're taught to be more of a marine, so you have like your saber kind of behind you a little bit, and your arm kind of stuck out as if you had a shield out. But really, you're trying to catch the blade and sweep in.
Yeah,
because Quaqua Marines, one, they either fight with shields, or they're used to sacrificing their non-sword arm to get the hit in.
Yeah, which isn't great for a first blood thing because I can't catch her sword with that. Well, actually, if it's a piercing blade, it might not have an edge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that still works then. Neat. In the weird roundabout way, that still works.
Yes.
Okay then. Whom goes first then? I assume it's her jewel, her challenge, therefore she goes first.
You may roll insight plus security opposed. Granted, if you wish to cheer someone on, you can, and assist this roll with presence plus command.
I shall be impartial.
I shall be impartial. Ooh.
I'm above this.
Okay then.
That is an awesome answer.
Hey, Vada, which one's your favourite captain now?
This one's not my captain.
It might be. Just give him. You just have to help him be more impartial.
Hey, you know for a fact, the real Grenin would probably do the same thing.
Oh yeah. Would lead by example in this case work?
Not in this
I
case,
don't
no.
think. Oh, I was gonna be like, on the basis of the first Starfleet officer to do this.
Nah, you're more trying to get a read, trying to see when the safe point to lunge in is. You're getting a measure of Laka.
Chain of oh, in terms of fighting.
Yeah.
Not social. Okay. Psionics?
You could, yeah.
It's not frowned upon.
There's no rule against it, as far as you're aware.
Yeah, it's getting a read. So hey, okay. I'll give you a threat. And we'll just roll the 3. Okay.
And theirs is so. Two successes.
I had 3, so there we go.
Gain a momentum, and you can act first.
Okay. Well, with all the practiced grace of a gorilla. I mean, he's definitely not a brute strength fighter, but you know what I mean. Like he's not.
There's no grace to it.
Yeah, he's not excessively trained on the sword. Which will be threat, not threat, because I can do that. And yes, I'll mess with my own complication range. Why not?
Buying all the dice.
A sword does not count as small arms, does it?
I mean, I use a Mackliff as a sidearm.
It does, actually.
Oh. Okay. Sweet, I have a focus that I didn't think I did.
Yeah.
Neat. So I've bought that one with... Well, I mean, okay, the smart way to do that would be buy the one with momentum, threat, not threat, and actually give you a threat for the third or the fourth. That only raised my comp by 1. Then give you 2 more threat for the 5th. So you only get 3 threat out of that. And I've janked the system a bit. Not terrible. I've got 2 different rerolls. Good thing I've got 2 different rerolls, huh?
Come on, complication.
Nope. The second reroll comes from the warrior spirit, which allows me to reroll the entire dice pool, actually. Oh my god!
She is a practice swords woman officer, so she gets a free reroll on any dice because she spent threat. What did you get? Wow, you got a lot.
I did.
She'll reroll the whole thing. Caution to the wind.
Ooh. Ooh, I do appreciate that play, though. The bold. Oh no.
It was worth trying.
But she didn't complicate, did she?
No.
No. Yeah, her complication range wasn't raised, so it was just mine. Otherwise, they would be 2 there.
Yeah. Roll your damage, please.
Yeah, how much did I... Oh, I did win that by 2, 4... Oh, I did win that by 6. Oh. What is the sword?
It adds 2 challenge dice. Oh wait, no, it adds is that right? I forget.
And if it's got any qualities or effects, because I don't know.
It has the deadly quality, no.
I don't know. I've never used the marine sword before.
Just
wait, I have it. I know where it is.
As I said, treat it like a Mackliff for
now. 2 challenge dice with vicious 1. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Mackliff.
Yeah. Alright, and there. That might do it.
6, 7, 8, 9. Three of that is deflected, somewhat parried away, but you still are able to just crush through it and still do enough. You potentially are about to do enough to inflict an injury, but she just steps back to avoid it.
Mm-hmm. Which is, I'm assuming, a light cut, or no?
It's more like she is. The stress here is reflecting the fact that you're very close to hitting her. You just missed her.
Okay.
Because you're basically going to first injury, so she stepped away from the injury. But she's still stressed out because she had to give ground, and you're still, even if she wants to attack, she has to come to you rather than fence with you, which is a problem.
Because she's a fencer.
Yep. The turn will go to her unless you swift task.
I'm not swift tasking. I'm not that confident in just going at it with a swordswoman.
She then. Oh shoot! I mean, thematically, I said that she stepped back, but mechanically speaking, you're still in melee range of each other. I was gonna have her step back and do something, but she can't. She has to succeed at a opposed melee roll. Yeah. So she starts trying to. It looks like she's trying to give herself space to back away. It's an opposed daring security roll. If she gets it, she's able to safely retreat from you. If you succeed, you're able to hit her as she's retreating.
Okay.
She'll buy a die because that makes sense. She's buying at least one.
I'll not threat you and 2 momentum.
Yep.
And you're the aggressor in this case. Technically.
Rerolling that 14. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Not bad. That's 5. I've got 2 rerolls. 6.
Yep, you're able to. She very definitely starts making foe attacks at you to get you to give space so she can retreat safely and get her stress back. But you're able to basically you do the marine thing and you start swiping your arm at her sword and grab it to haul it in and try to hit her.
Try to catch it in your elbow, kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. Minus 3 is 1, 2, 3. That's 3. How?
1 to reroll 3. Unless I don't need to.
I'm double checking. I think you will though.
So I'd rather not kill her.
You would have to, yeah.
Okay.
That's not enough to injure her.
That might be.
I mean, doesn't the holodeck also have safeties on?
Oh yeah, technically.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, minus 3, 6. You are able to basically hack down to her collarbone, and you hear an audible snap, and she hits the dirt.
Again? Did I actually just double injure her?
No, you just regular injured her.
Okay.
It's just that you get the feeling that because the holodeck was acting as if you were, it's the holodeck that basically reduced it to an injury rather than just hacking into her. But it's still like a heavy object going thud onto her. It's like, ow. Yeah, you are victorious in this fight. Unless Grenin demands you finish her, but somehow I don't think he's going to.
And she fell, you said?
Yeah, she fell. Because she's holding her arm, because you broke her collarbone, so.
Probably followed by, okay, put the sword away and offer her a hand. That's if it's appropriate for you to take a hand up.
She kind of grabs at the hand, more toward the blade rather than the handle, and she holds the sword out to you. You've won this.
Your sword?
Well, you won the duel. Ow. Would you take it? Stretching out hurts.
He'll take the sword because I'm not gonna fight Quaqua standing on the matter.
Present that to your captain. She gestures. Or your not captain, whichever. Oh, she lays back down. Oh, that hurts so much.
Would you want to be escorted to our med bay? Although they are quite full at the moment.
Just get me back to my ship. It's just a dueling wound. Just gotta set it back again. Wow, that hurt. She starts sitting up a bit. I will need some help getting there, though.
Give her a hand. Sorry about that being as heavy a blow as it was.
What? I'd be insulted if you held back. I'm not some sniveling little coward.
Mm-hmm. You could have finished that sentence. It wouldn't have offended.
No, it wouldn't have been a problem.
Many differences between your people and mine. We can figure out those differences and hopefully work together.
Can we figure them out after my shoulder's mended?
Oh, yeah. This is part of figuring them out right now.
Yeah.
Please
get used to it.
In fact, if you want to stand behind me so that no one accidentally shoulder checks you. Not as a matter of I'm better, as a matter of you're injured.
Oh, obviously. Yes, of course.
Program end. And, we'll walk. It's not much more to it than that. Sir Grennan, you had some matters you wanted to attend to.
Indeed.
Making yourself available to Star Captain's vessel.
Indeed. I have to prepare some materials and quickly review some materials, get myself caught up on events, and then I need to prepare myself a wardrobe.
Oh, that went better than I could have. Did I complicate? Because, yeah, I did. All of those complications were because I upped my complication range. It paid off.
On top of whatever other accommodations you're getting, you will get a commendation from Laka, honorable conduct in service. So basically, a foreign military basically telling Starfleet he's a good officer. It's like, oh, thanks.
We knew that.
We knew that, but no, it's a formal. Here's a formal letter. He has an official commendation from my Navy. Thanks.
I mean that
we'll pass it on, I guess.
That helps us actually. Hey, Grennan, going to Aegeus, our enemies, our former enemies, already commending our officers. How's that for progress, Admiral Naya?
Hey, Rear Admiral Naya's on our side.
She's trying to be on your side as best she can. It's like, yeah, guys, I have to explain to people back home what we're doing out here because 10th Fleet is wackadoo sometimes.
Oh yeah,
but you get what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. So it is safe to presume that Sir Grennan is going with Star Captain Laka aboard the HMS Edenir.
Yes, indeed.
So that follows to
either I don't know if it would be a role or my intelligence officer's advantage to provide Sir Grennan with essentially what he told us.
Right.
Like his own written statement to us regarding why he was here.
Yes. And I think Sir Grennan will say I think Sir Grennan will at least say goodbye.
Penn doesn't care.
I mean
I live in the hospital.
Goodbye to who?
I don't know.
Wait, you assume you're liked?
I mean, like, goodbye to Varder. Yeah, he's going to be showing up at one point to the ship to hand you the information you need, or that would assist you with your trial, hopefully.
So, interestingly enough, because I thought about this and I thought it would make kind of a cool design, and I think it kind of fits.
Yeah.
He's not wearing the civilian clothes anymore.
He's wearing his knight uniform?
No, he's wearing sort of this other outfit that he's kind of put together that kind of has a mesh of a couple different styles, and here's sort of the outfit design I'm thinking of. not with the person, not with the character face or anything, but like
You
this
got
is the
plastic
outfit
surgery,
I'm thinking of.
Is this Grenin goes to Ren Fair?
Yeah, I feel like it is.
Grenin goes to Ren Fair. Hang on, let me copy. There we go.
That's not
Hopefully that. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, that does seem more appropriate to Quaqua in terms of style.
So it's not like robes.
I will. We will address that in its own scene.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be a conversation. But before we get to that conversation, let's get this conversation done. What are Fleet Captain Grenin and Captain Pend doing as part of their paperwork?
I put something for Fleet Captain Grenin to do, which was I was going to put people who participated in the battle for commendations. Not like major ones, but obviously something.
So making sure everyone's properly being taken care of, sort of thing.
Yeah.
The recommendations of their immediate superiors, blah blah blah, how that system works. That will technically end up going through Pend and Grenin at some point.
So I'll be fobbing that one off on Grenin.
Control command, difficulty 2, assisted by computer. That is what you wish to do.
Okay, so do we want me to roll this?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's control command. Ugh, that's gross. Team dynamics?
Yeah. You're getting reports from various officers, department heads across the squadron and your allied squadron going, okay, who needs what? Who's supposed to get what?
Okay.
Who actually was there? Who was on sick leave? You know.
Okay.
You're talking about like thousands of people.
I'm gonna spend a momentum.
Okay. Oh no.
Hang on.
Hanging
I gotta
on.
reroll.
Okay. Maybe the computer will help you from DSE. Would you like some help from Commander Wright, perhaps?
Or Isala.
Yes,
Or Sala?
please. Wow.
I thought you
Solid.
were our commanding officer. Jeez.
17, 17.
Isala.
Okay. That does it. Wow.
You, Fleet Captain, you realize that because it turns into, well, it doesn't seem like a hard thing to do, and then it turns into reading. Imagine the fleet reports, except you have to read over 2,000 of them, and you have to figure out which one of those in those reports refer to a certain person who should get a commendation, and then verifying that they're allowed to have that commendation, then checking with Sergeant Command, then calling the Admiralty about it.
Oh
and
god,
it turns into this
don't automate
nightmare.
this process whatsoever. Oh god.
Well, no, because it's approval. You're the fleet captain. You're the squadron. You're the person that this all automated to.
The
Yeah,
real
so
problem.
I have to
There
do
used
this
to be
all
more.
manually.
The real problem happens when you have to commend a Jenkins, but there's like 7 Jenkins
Yeah.
at least.
And then you read the report like, do they actually get it? And Jenkins says, oh no, I shouldn't get it. I think Smith should get it. Oh, don't do that.
Yeah.
That complicates our
Meanwhile-
life up here.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I have my assist helping me out by figuring out which ones I could, which ones are the most obvious, easy, not to say rubber stamp, but
Yeah, some medals are easier than others. Like, oh, I give this guy a citation for conspicuous gallantry. Well, that's an easy one. I think this person should get Medal of Honor. We have to review it. Hold on. Let's put that to later. Let's do the easy ones first. Because that's going to take at least an hour of our time to look through that. So on and on you go, making sure that the various officers that participated in the battle are appropriately commendated as they deserve or don't deserve. Because in some cases, people are like, I think this person should be commendated. And you're like, look, they did a good job, but that's not worth that's not worth a medal. Sorry. I mean, I'll note the commendation on the file, but we're not giving them a medal. Sorry. You don't get gold stars for cleaning the floors when you're being shot at. I know that sounds important, and it is, but sorry, Ensign.
He
Can I
opened
get a
the door.
promotion? That this is commendations, not promotions. So wrong file. Can I get a promotion? No, because apparently you don't know Starfleet bureaucracy, so that's a demerit.
Oh.
Sad.
Can I have a personal meeting with you? For the love of God, no, I'm busy. But yeah. So everyone's taken care of, one way or the other. That sounds threatening, but you know what I mean. Captain Penn, what are you up to?
The Klingon problem.
The Klingon problem. What I'll say to that, if you are free for the next Klingon episode, you are free to cameo if you can and deal with it in person.
Sure.
Okay, so you forego the role because you'll be dealing with it in long form, as it were. And Commander Rhett will assist you with that. New scene. And at this point, it is getting to the point that if you're going to head to Starbase Aegis and report, you better do it quickly. But first, we're going to check in with Sir Harmon Grennan and Star Captain Leka and Lieutenant Commander Varder as certain people are heading out to the docks. Doop, doop. Whoops. Zoom in, please. Thank you. And then... So you're walking along. Sir Grennan, you are... Well, actually, two would be probably in... More accurately, probably in the Turbolift together. So, Varder, you get to be the first to see Grennan in his new choice of attire.
Mm-hmm. It's unique.
Is Varder in dress uniform, or is he just in service uniform? Because it's the same day.
This is the same day I'm still on duty, so dress. Not dress, service. Yeah, dress.
You're not dressing up for him leaving? Oh.
No, I'm not dressing up for him leaving. Service uniform.
You got really stuck there for a second, didn't
yes,
you?
I don't know. I'm juggling half a dozen things. Is it a role that I need to do to get the information regarding Grennan in an appropriate format, or is it my advantage?
You could spend the use, or you could roll for me. Reason plus security, difficult 2. Assisted by computers plus security to assemble a debrief file. And his outtake papers.
Mm-hmm. Reason security, yeah. Toss you a threat, so you look like you need one. Chain of command focus?
Yeah.
So that's what I need to go down to. Appropriately put that together, yep. Make 1 momentum off that. 2 momentum off that. Thank you, DSE.
So you've assembled a appropriate debrief according to his need. Mm-hmm. Part of it is also briefing him on what's happened since his imprisonment. That he's clear to know.
The Quaqua don't need to know.
Yep. And filling him in on Quaqua as far as you understand it, minus the intelligence blacked out bits, obviously. Mm-hmm. Sir Grennan is now apprised of all that has happened, minus the particulars. For example, you don't know how the device that was inserted into the Dusk Machine exactly works. You just know a device was used, which that's fine. They don't mind people knowing that. It was part of the briefing that Star Captain Koshi was there for. So,
and it's also part. Here's why he came to us to fill in the Quaqua, like of a testament to his innocence, kind of thing. That he didn't have anything to do with this whole Dusk Machine shenanigans.
Yeah, because he probably has some security files of, well, here's when we took custody of him. Here's where he's been. Here's the people who've talked to him. So if you doubt our method, if you wish to interview any of us, here's the people. Here's the various ensigns and lieutenants to talk to, and myself, obviously.
Here's his testimony, which essentially puts him as an opponent to the Steel Prince before all of you.
Yep.
So. Yeah.
So yeah, Sir Grennan now has all those files as Varder hands them over to him, and you're them over and get a feel for what the situation is.
A question for Varda.
Mm-hmm.
Does he give Sir Grennan a certain document with lists of allies and opponents?
Of that? No, I'm not making him that popular with whoever he goes to.
Fair enough.
That, no, I'm not handing that to Grennan.
Okay.
But I do have it.
Is there anything Sir Grennan says in the turbo before you step out?
Well, I didn't think that we'd be parting ways quite like this, but fate has a funny way, doesn't it?
If you want to call it fate, sure. Weird things happen all the time.
Yeah. You could call it fate. Grennan steps out of the turbo lift. Some might call it kismet.
God. No, I'm not even going to go into it. You see some Marines standing outside the doors of the deck toward the Quaqua vessel. You see Star Captain Laka, who walks up and then stops halfway through the hallway and stares at Grennan. Sir Harmon Grennan?
Star Captain?
May I ask at your attire?
I felt if I were to, I am to take my place among Quaqua again. However, I do not entirely know whether or not my place should be in the Quaqua robes or not, so I felt it prudent to dress myself in a familiar color of diplomacy. To Starfleet, it is the dress whites.
That is not our dress uniform.
Well, sir, you may attire yourself as you desire. Normally, I would refer you to the dress conduct codes. However, we are without Steel Prince, therefore those codes may very well change in the near future, so perhaps that uniform is a sign of the times. Are you ready, sir?
I am.
And you notice Laka has a new sword. She hasn't retrieved the sword from you.
Yeah.
Oh, how did and she looks to Grennan's hip and notices, I imagine you didn't give him that her long blade. So she looks at your hip, Grennan, and tilts her head a bit.
I was gonna say, I don't have one, do I?
You could replicate one, but you don't have an official.
Oh
wait, no, you would have. You would have had one as a knight. You would have had a sword with you.
And that is his property, so it gets returned.
Because that's your sword. That's presented to you by the Steel Prince. That belongs to you, and it's a symbol of your title as well.
Indeed. Then yeah, he has the sword.
No, you've got your sword. You don't have her sword.
No, right. Yeah. Yes. He has Sir Grennan's sword.
So Laka looks at Grennan's sword and looks at Varder and says, and then, it looks like she's going to say something, and then she just looks back at Grennan. Sir, is there a particular reason why you aren't bearing the that was won by your champion?
I'm gonna tap my gun badge. This is Lieutenant Commander Varder to Captain Grennan.
Grennan here.
He's gonna, hold out the badge and, if you can verify that you are indeed a different person to Sir Grennan, please. Well, he's right next to me, so.
I am Fleet Captain Harmon Grennan. To whom am I speaking?
she walks over a bit so she's not shouting across the hallway toward a communicator. This is Star Captain Laka.
Has Fleet Captain Grennan received the sword?
It's up to Barter. Did you send it to
Probably
him?
stopped by and said, "Okay, won the duel. Here's her sword. I've got things to do."
Like, you probably got that sword, and it's like sitting on a desk while you have like a million pads in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a visual. Eventually, he's gonna have that put up with he's gonna have that put with the pistol.
I'm with the HMS Engineer.
Oh yes, Varder told me about the duel that you had. I'll be finding a suitable place to keep this sword just as soon as I'm done with this pat. No, it's in triplicate, not duplicate. Triplicate. I'm sorry. I'll get right to it.
Begging your pardon, sir, but you're on the rolls as a knight.
There are two
And I'm
separate
speaking to a knight
individuals.
in uniform currently.
Yes, that would be Sir Harmon Grennan.
You're twins with the same name?
Something like that.
They are two distinct individuals. If you look
Doesn't-
under your lists for gentleman Harmon Grennan, I believe you'll still find he exists as well.
Presence command difficulty too, because Laka is just lost on her own.
Yeah.
She confused herself to how I have and going, wait, what? Do humans, is that a thing humans do? It's like, no, you're misunderstanding. Here, let it explain.
Yeah, that's why I was like, yep, this
So,
is...
can we
this
just
is
call the
just
new
wrong.
one Sherman?
No.
Sherman.
Sherman.
Like Sir
Grennan,
Harmon.
that's a U roll, by the way.
His ears aren't big enough.
Like,
Do you wear the mask too? No.
In
In
no,
the picture.
You know he does
No.
in private.
not right now.
not right now.
If he ends up going down a dark path, then maybe.
If he goes down the dark path, he wears a mask.
Dude, there's always one.
Keep going, you'll cut yourself with that edge.
So, one of you's leading, one of you's just the explanation to Laka, because Laka is just, huh? I don't understand how you aliens work. It's like, no. I mean, that can be a thing, but here's what the situation is.
I think Sir Grennan will take the lead on this.
Sir Grennan
Or is
actual
this
Grennan?
or is this regular Grennan? Which one is?
Both, one can take lead, one can assist the other, oddly, because they're two distinct people.
Oh, I love this.
Which actually might help the argument if they're two distinct people.
Sir, regular Grennan is going to take the lead on this.
This is Barber once again doing the, here, let me show you.
Yeah.
Rather than
Because-
explain.
It's easier, isn't it?
Spending a
show, don't
momentum.
tell.
Yeah, it
Spending a
works a lot.
momentum for the reroll.
It's your new fucking catchphrase.
I'm sure there are some people who absolutely hate the fact that he does that.
That he does what?
Show
Shows
doesn't
us
tell. It's like, here, let me show you. You're not supposed to show them that. I've got the clearance to do it.
That's 3 momentum.
So what we need for that picture, we just need to take that headshot with the mask, just turn the hair.
Yep.
That's his new look. That'll be his new picture. So is Barter assisting with this role?
Oh, I can, yeah. Presence command. Whee!
So yeah.
I didn't
That
have a
is 1,
focus,
2,
so-
3, 4 generated. Yeah, you're able to explain it in detail, much and the nuance of the situation, and then Locke finally goes, "Oh, okay. So there is a Sir Harmon Grennan and a Gentleman Harmon Grennan, who is also a fleet captain, but only the Sir is coming with me. Okay, that's. I will go to. I'll ensure that when we get to station back over Cooley, I'll sort the files out for the Navy, and you can deal with the palatial roles. I'll explain it on the way there.
Mhm.
And we've been getting briefings from your lieutenant regarding Starfleet bureaucracy, so she may be able to translate your bureaucracy to ours. Although ours is far superior, I would say.
It will be nice to see Anaya again.
I'm sure the Star Admiral will wish to speak with you once you've attended your inquiry, or after, I should say. Is there anything you wish to spend on gathering information, obtaining information, or creating advantages because of this role?
I do get a free bonus momentum because of cold reading.
It's true.
What does she seem to think of this development?
She finds it exotic and alien. Like, it's, to her, it's just so very strange. But, she's been serving she's learned from the stories of the Star Captain Koshi that aliens are weird. And they don't get less weird the further from home you get. They just get more weird. So she's a little alienated at the point, not in the hostile, more of the, I'm kind of, this is
unusual. Yeah.
But she's rolling with it. She understands. It's just taking her time to internalize it.
Okay, that's my question. Anyone else have any suggestions?
No.
Then the float goes poof.
Actually, on the note of going to see Star Captain Koshi,
Star Admiral, but yes.
Star Admiral, sorry. I've known her as Star Captain for quite a long time. I imagine you've probably known her longer.
We've served in the Navy, but she's been at it longer. So I've run into her once or twice.
Here, Sir Grennan, and he'll hand him the pad now in front of Laka. As she might find this interesting.
I'll trust that to your care, Sir Grennan.
Very good.
Because elsewise, I would have to give it a security review since it's your Navy. But if it's within a noble's care, then I will leave it to the noble's care, and hope that he is presenting it with all the best intentions toward the Principality.
One would certainly hope so.
Quite.
All right, Sir Grennan, if you'll follow me, please.
And Sir Grennan does.
Best of luck, Star Captain.
And they all walk away.
I specifically chose my moment there, Pen.
Oh, that's fine.
There's a slight need to be cheeky about it.
And away the Adenir goes. So now we're left at the point that if you are heading to Starbase Aegis, you better get going now. If you're gonna take a runabout, even if you're going with the Kismet, you could probably get one more roll in, just because it's that fast a ship. But if you're going by runabout, you have to leave now because you're gonna run out because you're gonna get there super late and you don't want to wait too long.
Yeah. I think I should probably get going.
Are you bringing anyone with you to the debrief?
Well, is Varder like super busy, or
you can ask him.
Varder, would you be able to accompany me to Deep Space Aegis? I mean, how long is this trip expected to take?
The trip itself won't take long, because you're going to be escorted by other ships. Like, they're going to pull you along, like the relay thing that you do with runabout travel. But it's not. There's travel time plus the time that you're at base. at Aegis basically dealing with this, because you're gonna have to debrief, wait a bit, debrief again. And you probably have to because you have to debrief command, security. You can't do medical really. That's someone else's problem. The science people will want to know something. You're probably going to have to do a presser because the various press are going to want to talk to you about what's going on out here because you're a flag officer of a squadron. So you're going to be busy for a bit once you go there. Once you go there, you're gone for a bit.
That's about right.
Now, not to say that people couldn't grab shuttles back, but it if you want to see it through and make sure you're, because the thing is, I will say mechanically that all your reputations is very high, and this is going to be a reputation roll coming down. So it's unlikely you're going to biff this, but that's really what you're doing. You're just making sure your reputation extends throughout the Federation, not just this local Tallgrass block. Because Tallgrass knows how high your rep is and all the good you did. Like, no one in Tallgrass hates anything you guys did. They know why hoplites are a thing. They know why the Achilles is a thing. They're like, we like this idea. We know what's been going on. But someone all the way on Earth or in Vulcan goes, we don't know what's going on. We hear warships. We hear Marines. We hear there's a war out there. What the hell's going on? And Nia has to explain that to somebody. So she's going to get you to explain it to her.
I mean, would it be worth waiting one more roll and taking a flagship, and that will allow Vada and Wright to visit the Midnight Captain?
You can, but note that you also have your... Well, actually, so far you are duty to sector exploration via the plank, but that would leave the sector defended only by the Achilles at present. Which, it's a good ship, don't get me wrong, but you are leaving a single ship to defend this Tallgrass.
Yeah, it should be fine.
Yep.
And there's also a lot of allied ships in the area, just standard.
Yeah. So it's up to you if you want to do one more roll and just ride the Kismet and, show the flag, except to allies, or you can go humbly aboard a runabout. Because they don't care how you get there, they just care you get there. Mm-hmm. Well, they care how you get there, but you're not required to go aboard a ship. So you can either get one more roll in, or you can head off in a runabout immediately. What do you wish to do?
I think I should probably just head out in the runabout.
Sorry, unless I can do the midnight thing remotely, then, which, I know the badges work like that.
You could get an abbreviated thing, but you won't be able to throw in your 2 cents at the meeting. You'll just be briefed after the fact.
So,
like, Wright will go for sure. Like, she's obviously going. You'll probably be briefed by Wright to you, basically. Go, hey,
so Grinnan does the thing. I just rock up with the Kismet pathway, like, arrive at the same time, essentially. Could still happen.
You could do it that way, yeah.
Sound like a plan?
Yeah.
So fleet captain zips away. Are you bringing anyone else? Any supporting characters?
Any suggestions for supports?
A pilot?
Yeah.
Hey, do I take a Sala with you? She's a pilot.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, I probably should put it down here so I don't... Ooh, no.
Yeah, she's currently my con, my assistant, and my future XO.
Nepotism.
Yeah. Any other officers being brought along on the runabout?
It would be absolutely foolish to say you don't have a security officer because I'm giving you one and you're not able to argue with that.
Aww.
Which one?
Thralek's busy. Can I still Kino from you?
Yeah. And I believe I already gave her the trait of you're taking a hoplite with you.
Oh, actually. She's probably not in hoplite gear for this.
No, but
she's not wearing it, but she's probably got it on the shuttle.
Yeah, she's a recognized hoplite.
That's useful.
She actually, knowing how special ops type people might operate, she isn't wearing the gear, but she probably has a go bag. Like she packs that along with her. It's like in case I'm needed as a hoplite, I'm ready to go, but I'm not gonna wear it all the time because that looks very aggressive. That's like SWAT guys walking around in their SWAT gear all the time. They don't do that. That's a lot of gear to be walking around in.
Yeah, I assumed when it came to, I'd say, hoplites gearing up, there would be a specific room, kind of like this armory, but separate, just for that.
Oh yeah, I imagine so. Yeah. Well, actually, that's the question. You could have her. I'm just if she's going along as a security attachment. She's like, well, she could bring along her hoplite stuff. You can't have her leave it behind if you.
I know, I was just leave it behind. I'm just thinking, like, in general, there'll just be a separate section on board, like, say, the Achilles of, this is where you go to collect hoplite gear, then you head out.
So she is leaving it behind.
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else going on in the runabout?
I'm good.
And this is how they died. No,
Yeah, no. He might die, he might not. We'll find out. Either way, it's not gonna find out.
You're a security officer. You're supposed to keep him from dying.
Yeah, I sent a security officer with him.
He technically sent on a hoplite, so.
Yeah.
Oh, and to make them much easier to differentiate now, I updated Sir Grennan.
Oh. What'd you do?
He put he's in whites now.
That's actually a much nicer handle.
Where the fudge?
That's a much nicer what?
Sorry, I've been wrapping the handle on a knife this entire time.
Yeah.
I've done it like 4 or 5 times to try and get it right, and I just got it right. Sorry, I was talking to myself. That's what I'm doing while playing Star Trek, wrapping my knife.
Okay, I mean, to each their own, I suppose.
I mean, I've made a knife in the past, but I just used a wooden handle.
This is not a knife I've made. It's a metal survival knife with a bungee cord that you can take off and use for other purposes. So you need to tie that around the handle when you're not using it for other purposes.
Fair enough.
And I just need to do something with my hands. So this is what I've elected to do. Fair?
No, that's fair.
No, it's not fair at all. I don't have one. What if I want to fidget with my hands?
Get a fidget spinner.
No, please no.
That's not something I've ever said before. I'm not gonna say it again.
People got me one because my fidgeting was irritating, but then I managed to find out that the fidget spinner could make noise and it was still irritating.
Well, so you will go to. I was trying to find the particular that big room, but I can't find it. So I'll go to the office instead. There is a larger meeting elsewhere. So to summarize, how much you from the meeting before you sit down with the Midnight Captain, insight plus command, command, science or medicine. I imagine it's command more like difficulty of 2.
Yeah, for me that's definitely command. I've got a science and a medicine of 1. I'm assuming Wright's kind of doing her own thing in this regard.
Say again, sorry?
Is Wright doing her own thing in this regard?
Yes. This is you observing something that.
Me observing some chain of command or psionics.
Sure.
Div 2 have a momentum. We've got a lot of momentum this game.
Yeah, the GM's not had a lot of threat either.
That's been weird. And I made the momentum back.
So, you are able to discern that, there is the general theme of the meeting. You were like, had basically that for the corner.
You cut out.
They had that for the corner where they had the large meeting hall for the meeting, for the conference. If you recall what that is.
Yeah.
So all the Midnight agents and special agents met there, along with the associate members. Adler obviously wasn't there, but Warwick was there, Solari was there, and so on. The general theme of the meeting was them discussing, because the situation has changed, the big meeting is about the threat that was in the engine, and that threat has been eliminated, and so now there's this massive treasure trove of psionic technology and information that the Watch is trying to get at, and Warper to check the temperature of the room, of his corner in particular, what they wanted to do. What is the goal that the Watch, which is to handle this, because it's not a threat in particular, but it could be a treasure trove for threats to occur. The thing is, they don't know. They know so little, and you hear in the meeting that a lot of people are discontented with how Starfleet handled it. They think Starfleet biffed this completely because they gave it over to the Quaqua essentially, which they think is a huge blunder. The same people who built it are the same people who now have it back. That seems like it would have been better to go to the Woohoo, or even to the Federation. And a few people argue that's dumb because the Federation are the same people who tried to kill all the changelings. So, the same people who attacked us at Wartburg Castle and so on. One moment, please. I'll be right back.
So which of those events I posted in Discord do you think would best suited? I was thinking the dueling event because the Klingons are here as well.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to set that up for over the next, over the current period of time. So
I am back.
Okay.
So yes, there was the Federation bit where there was arguments that turned into that. Where, thankfully, you do get the feeling that there is anti-Federation sentiment still, but the captain's been able, and there's a large faction that are basically no, we only left the Federation because of what happened during the Dominion. Tiger Squadron and the Federation, as it is now, has been welcoming Watch, so we don't need to leave. That said, there are people who are still ticked about that. What else? So that's the big issue then, is what are they going to do about the thing? The large consensus is that the Watch must get to that core. Like, they need to get, even if we can't keep it, they need the information in the core, and that needs to be, so all sections are now put on missions to find information or methods to get to the core through whatever means that do not violate the tenets. Which you are privy to. You know what those are. So you can see how some people might interpret that in the most law-abiding Paragon way, and there are some very renegade type minds who you go, you know what? If I really like one of the tenets, but I get more merits, the Watch might not care how I got it. So that's how people like Adler happen. But you are a special agent. A few people occasionally will come back. They notice you, and they notice that you don't have action, which is somewhat unusual. That's a thing that happened in the old days of the organization, but it's a thing that doesn't happen so much in the modern era, as it were. But no one, you just get looks, but no one's like being hostile. It's more about, that's odd, but whatever. No one's questioning on it, so no one really approaches you about the matter because you're not a member of any other section. You're kind of your own person, so your own agent, and you have been. This is the first time you've actually seen the larger apparatus of the Watch, and you're now only just recently learning what the Watch is really like and what the tenets are, what they are as an organization.
Actually, a bunch of these people are meeting this special agent going, what the fuck?
Why is a captain just wandering around on his own? Don't you have a ship and stuff? No, I'm my own thing. Okay, you must be up to something important. Or we just haven't gotten around to giving you a ship, but that sounds like a screw up on our part.
But he's also in a Starfleet uniform.
Yeah.
So it's like,
there are a few Starfleet people in the room. Actually, this is probably that this is one of the first meetings since the conference that a lot of Starfleet officers are openly declaring their membership. So there's actually a fair number, not enough that they're a critical mass of your squadron, but it's a significant amount of officers, mostly of the science and medical fields. But there are some tactical, there are some like lower rank command or pilots, but there's a spread of them because the Watch needs all kinds. They need technicians, biologians, tacticians, strategists. They need all sorts. So eventually, you're able to get away from the meeting, unless you're going recruiting, but I imagine you're not. And you're able to get some time with the Midnight Captain, and get a word in because as a special agent, that you have you'd be the head of you're a section head, so it's appropriate for you to give your 2 cents on what you think your corner should be doing. Because or at least telling them what your section's going to do, which is you.
I don't quite have a section yet, but maybe.
Yeah, you're a section of 1 until you tell the captain otherwise.
Yeah.
So you're able to step in. You see various agents working away. They nod at you. One of them says hi. Like you probably know a couple of these people by now.
Yeah, waves, nods, highs back. Stuff like that. Fairly typical. And,
Commander, hello, says Wartburg.
Captain?
You wanted to speak with me?
Yeah. There's a few things going on. They're all fun. All so much fun.
So, I read your report on what happened with the Klingons. That was... I'm glad they destroyed that throne. I wish we were able to get a scan of it. But I'd rather it was destroyed than it endangered somebody else. So I'm not mad at you about that.
Question.
Myth did what she had to do. I read her report. Apparently it was a threat, and it would have been ideal to again get data on it, but especially nowadays. But it's another one of those, better to destroy it than for it to wreak havoc. Although I imagine, as I recall, Starfleet was somewhat upset with her call there. But the Watch is not. And there's a few in the Watch in the medical field that are, but medical always has oppositions to us destroying life. But threats as they are, endanger us all. So, fourth tenant and all. So, anyway, I'm getting the feeling though that isn't what you came here to talk to me.
No. Also, question. I have my intelligence officer advantage still. Could something have picked up a scan of that throne that I have access to?
Yes, you could have.
He was in the back the entire time and he didn't fight.
You could indeed spend for that. Yep.
Yeah, I'll do that. And that'll be okay. There you go. There's something on the throne.
He takes the pad. But you scanned it? I thought officially you never got near the thing.
We got into the throne room.
Yeah, but weren't you across you had your tricorder. And if you set it to the right settings with special intelligence codes, you can scan from long distances. Okay.
There was a period of time where we weren't really doing much, other than, waiting for the Klingon doctor to cut through the jamming so we could leave before being swarmed by a whole lot of angry men.
It looks like this is an assemblage of various objects of power. Which we kind of guessed, but I thought it was going to be just one. Like just the engine block was that, but it seems that this throne indicates that there are multiple pieces that are in there. Which also means that there could be multiple objects that are still in the wreck that aren't the throne or the core. That's a problem. We need to verify that.
My impression of the thing was it was whatever it once was corrupted.
Well, supposedly, there was a version of the watch before Earth, but this is going into preserver area in pre-human history. So that area is
gray.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would make sense. But yeah, why I'm here? Well, one, that machine, yes, needs to be dealt with. I kind of see why people are grumpy about going back to the Quaqua, but politics is amazing.
Well, that's why the watch is the thing, because we have to. The needs of the sentient life need to overwhelm the needs of polities.
And I know Starfleet's stance on the matter, or at least our squadron stance on the matter.
What is their stance on the matter?
If anything's going to be done regarding the station, it needs to be reached through a diplomatic means. Unfortunately, that is the Quaqua and the Quaqua have fractured. As of this moment, there's secessionists, there's all the claimants to the throne, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
So that would come down to whoever currently controls the station, if anyone is indeed controlling the station.
It's going to become a war. It's going to become a war asset. It's going to be a battleground.
Yes.
Great.
Which would mean a quick resolution to the war would be something of great benefit. So we cannot directly intervene as Starfleet due to the Prime Directive.
No. Yeah, the Prime Directive's still a thing.
A race of people who are psionically capable.
Any word on Adler? I haven't heard much beyond
physically,
that she's still hospitalized.
Physically recovered, mentally broken. It's the easiest. It is the quickest way to say it. We would need. Wright was talking about parapsychology, which is.
Oh, okay. So she's on the case. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, between Dr. Efrix and Wright, we should get an answer to her. If anyone can treat them, they can. Short of us taking them to one of our the Vulcan corner, the Bajorn corner, but that's a long way to take her.
If the situation deteriorates and she needs an immediate attention, I can try.
Yeah.
Have that unique link, but that's not on the table at this moment. There are options.
All right. Well, okay. I was gonna see if I can get her to do it, but that's not really an option. So that leaves me with, well, I will tell you from a former Starfleet officer to a current one that that's whatever Starfleet's position is, whatever the Federation stands. As you heard of the meeting, we have to get in there. And with this intelligence you've given me, it's even more important we get in there, because never mind the core. If someone stumbles on some bit of revelation in there and they get swamped, we have a whole new problem, and we won't know what it is until it attacks, or it might spread. So we need to contain it as an area of an operational area. But to do that means we have to deploy sections, and I can't. I'm. Other captains might have decided to demand you do this, but frankly, the first tenant comes into this. I don't wish to press you against your own oaths to Starfleet, but I would advise you to form a section, even if it's just with Myth. Find people you trust. That heck, make sure they're all in uniform, even, and find your solution to the problem before someone else finds it, because we have to move. We can't wait for the Federation's diplomacy to figure this out, because if they take too long, we might have a second war that we get pulled into. Actually, well, the war's already going from the sound of it. So if we wait too long, that's going to become a strategic piece that could, and we just have another battle of the subsector all over again. Instead of a Dusk Machine, we have a volcano machine, or a supernova creator, or a sun cannon, or some other nonsense.
I'll see who I can pull. I mean, Myth and Wright are both options, as far as I know. Wright's not a section.
Oh, that's true. Yep, I haven't put Wright on a section yet, so there's two. Ideally, you should have a full 5 covering various fields. That'll cover your science field, your medical fields, you're already a tactician, so you need a strategist, navigation expert, and a technician. Ideally, some sections specialize. Generally, it's better when you're spread out like that.
What is the... Like, I'm not suggesting putting her in my section because she's got her own things to do, but the lore singer, what is she?
She is a special agent. She has her own... Yeah, within the Empire.
Oh, she's introduced herself as an agent, so...
Well, she did that in front of the Klingons. Yeah. Indicating that she had her own entire section would have been...
a problem, yeah.
Very problematic. That said, though, she is as loyal as you are to the Federation. She is very loyal to Klingon. So if she chose not to divulge that, then I wouldn't. And so I'm not going to. There's a reason she's doing what she's doing.
I was meaning her specialty in terms of... I know she's good at speaking.
She is a strategist, a specialist. So if you need to contact her, lay of the ground, that so long as it serves the Watch's interests, she won't help the Federation. Well, as you know, we don't like taking sides between different factions, since that devalues us as an organization.
I mean, yeah, I think we both have an understanding of we're with the Watch, but we're with other people as well. We're not hurting either of them at the same time.
Yeah.
So that should actually make it easier for us to work together if we have to.
Yeah.
But no, I can probably figure something out. There's a bunch of uniforms out there.
Yeah. So what do you want your section to do? What are you going to do as a staff? I mean, obviously you're not going to violate your prime directive, but we need a way in. And I'd rather, if you need a Starfleet way to do it, then you'll need to think up what that is. Because the Woohoo will very gladly want to charge in there and let us help us with that. But that is a very... there's a few sections that are really keen on that idea. I'm keen because that pulls another faction into the war. And I'd rather not do that. I'd rather, if we can do this diplomatically, the Starfleet way, then great. But you're basically the only section lead that is Starfleet. There are others, but they're assigned elsewhere. So in this region, in this corner, you're the only one that's Starfleet. That's a special agent. I mean, technically, I could get back in uniform, I suppose, but that adds a whole ream of complications.
Yeah, my thoughts are: one, intelligence officers get a whole lot of leeway in terms of I can do something that might be smack around on the wrist-worthy, but if it succeeds, they're less fussed. Which you personally, I know, have a problem with that sort of behavior. And it's not something I typically like to do. I introduce myself as an intelligence officer. Like, I'm very open about that, so that people have a clear understanding of what they're getting into. The other one is the station itself is, as you said, a key point in the war. If we can establish it as a neutral zone, essentially, a point that the conflict should not touch until it's resolved. Or I guess one way to say that would be a war spoil. Whoever wins their little civil war gets it.
And while it's neutral, we get what we can off it before they take it.
Essentially.
That's a near thing. We need a ship to carry everything off.
Yeah. Which, if we can have the Federation declare it as such, given... I feel like not many people would disagree with that. We could also get that backed by the Pedro Star Authority.
Yeah, if you can get the Starport Authority on board, that should give you a warrant of activity. And Starfleet's has a good name out there these days. Even Woohoo seemed to be pretty... Actually, something to do with the Ganymede apparently did a lot of things with the Illuminated Worlds, so he shrugs. I guess Starfleet's gotten its act together in the last year or so.
I've got a favor to pull with one of the Woohoo as well.
Okay.
He's a commander, but it's something.
Commander? That's one of their leaders, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They tend to appreciate being pulled from a torture site.
All right. Sounds like a good plan. If you need any kits or supplies, he nods and says the name of one of the other agents. Talk to them, and they can have you sorted through our armory. But you probably have better. You have, if you need more conventional weaponry, I think you have better than we do. So
Yeah. The one thing I would ask though is, we've got so many injured coming through the station in terms of psionically after the despair waves.
Mhm.
And the Midnight Watch has personnel particularly suited to helping with that.
They've actually already been volunteering to that effort. They were just waiting for this meeting to be done. That should alleviate a lot of it, because they weren't sure if we were going to leave, because some of the anti-Federation faction were pushing that we leave. But they kind of forgot the fact that I outrank all of them, so they're staying here unless they want to talk to a different corner.
Well, I can give some of them a smile and a wave and change their minds. Probably not change their minds, but you know what I mean.
If you think politics outside of the watch is are twice as bad, if you want to get into it, feel free, but I would advise you not to bother.
That is more of a joke. I've gotten a reputation for smiling and waving at people thinking I'm the perfect thing. The poster boy, it's great.
Poster boy, Starfleet helping out an organ considered criminal. Federation is a weird place.
Yeah, the poster boy is also an intelligence, which has many pitfalls, as you know.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for me, or anything else you would stuff, or any requisitions that I could speed up for you?
I thought there was something I forgot. Does Penn need help getting people transported?
No, he's already done that role. He has achieved that in the first scene, actually.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think so, actually. We've mostly got everything sorted. We've got to handle the Klingons, who are being Klingons. We've got lots of wounded, but...
I've heard some rumors that that your fleet captain is heading off to the Admiralty.
Yes, to report in person. People are jumpy about the idea of the Achilles, the idea of the hoplites, the idea that there's been a war going on down here.
Yeah, the counselors not appreciate wars very much. And I think the second Vulcan counselor was around when I was a captain. Yeah. So
if we had
long view of history, thankfully. So I would suggest if he has to go to council to, if he needs to, he can talk to not the primary, but the secondary counselor if he needs help.
Okay.
But hopefully it's only just an Admiralty debrief. But if he might be, I will warn you that having been in his position as a intelligence director, when things go sideways large enough and the explanation is complicated enough, that's a trip to Earth.
Yeah.
And counselors are not as forgiving as the Admiralty is. And he says forgiving like he knows the same thing you are about how Starfleet reputation can be somewhat finicky sometimes. Especially given a certain Vulcan admiral, but
out of here, I'm gonna catch him up on the Kismet and meet him at the station.
All right.
So yeah, if we need, well.
Do you think we should reach out to the 10th in particular through Nia, or should we leave it alone?
We're going to meet Nia. Anything that could, if you have something that you believe would help an argument to our case, because we're not, like you've seen it, we're not using the hoplites as a front line, they're a last resort. The Achilles is a shield more than a spear. Things like that.
I don't have it at hand, but by the time you get there, I can type up a paper on the practical needs of Special Force Marines. We used to have them back in my day, We didn't call them hazmat back. We didn't call them hazard teams back then, but they were special security forces, full armor and everything. So I can write a report about that and compare and contrast, and try to give her a full argument that way. That's far better than just some letter recommendation. But that'll take me a bit of time, so I'll probably have it to you by. Well, you go warp 9.9 such, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so he types at his computer. It is 9.9 such, right? It isn't.
The max is 9.9 such.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me double check here. 9.975.
Okay, so you'll probably get there.
Is
Oh,
our highest
okay.
numbers.
So probably tomorrow. Yeah, I can have it done by tomorrow.
I appreciate that then, Captain.
Oh, I love writing about that sort of thing. It's what I used to do. So
Get that done, I'll look at putting that section together and getting our results.
very good.
I'll need to go talk to Penn before running off into the horizon with the Kismet to back up the captain.
Yeah.
Captain. Right
Any
now-
increased hostility from Penn, perhaps? I know there's been a bit of movement. Section stepping on his toes, or I've been trying to keep people out of his way. I know some Adler aside, I know some agents have a habit of getting in Starfleet.
I'll be about to find out, but so far as I know, no, he's
Okay.
generally pretty fine.
That's good.
He's the same old Penn's, just more paperwork.
Well, he's a modern day. He's very much the model of an Andorian intelligence officer. Very brusque, very direct. So add on to that his Tellarite lineage, and you have someone who doesn't put up with crap for very long. So
It works.
it works. Just some people don't understand the complexities of culture bashes like that. So.
No, that's why I just had to fight a duel.
Very well then. That's it for me. You can carry on.
Alright, let me know if you need anything else, but other than that, I'll get to work. See
Very
what
good.
can be done. And stand up and go to leave. I've got to do it for a Pend. Because, hey, I'm making some more work for you, but it'll be worth it.
So you probably find Pend along with Wright working more paperwork, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, probably to getting ready to deal with Klingons, and like you probably run into Wright and Penn talking about something. Saturday, it's like, so this happened.
Talking about arranging their dueling events, correct?
Yeah.
Mr. Varda, yes.
Oh, Mister. Oh. I'm still in service. I didn't retire yet.
Hello, Varder. It's a Starfleet tradition. Someone who outranks you just calls you by your last name. That's why I've been doing.
You call me sir, but yeah.
Well, I've been trying to do it that way.
So.
Please tell me you don't have a requisition for more security. Please don't tell me that. I have enough as it is.
Well, no, I don't.
Oh, no.
I do have an interesting proposal, though, that could help our Dusk Machine situation.
Before you continue, think about how you phrase it for me to, like, selling it to me.
That if that is a station full of advanced technology beyond what the sector species are currently capable of understanding, let alone understanding while it's a battle zone. At present, the Quaqua are divided, and that is exactly what the Dusk Machine will turn into, a battle zone. So what we could push through the Pejov Star Authority, so going through local authorities, is that the Dusk Machine is declared a neutral area. It will go to whichever power within the Quaqua wins. But it does prevent unneeded hostility and potential expansions of destruction and or conflict arising from the Dusk Machine itself. Is that good enough in your phrasing?
You see him just look at you like deadpan, then you see him like thinking, but his mouth is moving silently, like he's trying to form a decent story in his head.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I talk to the Star Authority and go with the neutral zone until the Quaqua situation is dealt with, we as Starfleet can look over it or offer some form of security with maybe some assistance from certain allies, and I'll look directly at both Wright and Varda, signalling like they'll watch.
Potentially, yes.
I'm pretty sure this is where the idea is coming from, correct?
No, it is my own idea put forward. However, it is endorsed. It is better than alternatives. Far better than alternatives.
Then, yes, I can start on a form of paperwork and I'll reach out to the Peugeot Star Authority to get it stationed as a neutral zone until that shit's sorted out, and the Federation will enforce it.
Thank you, Captain. Speaking of the Wartburg, he was writing a paper in support of our arguments as a individual or a civilian individual within the Federation that has been observing our squadron's efforts. So that should be helpful.
Yay. I've had a lot of paperwork.
Oh, and we apparently have a meeting with one of the commanders or lieutenants of the House of Gitta, so we're going to need to deal with that pretty soon here, sir. Because they are finding out how much blood wine we have, and we'll see how long that patience lasts. Thankfully, they brought some of their own, but...
They brought a lot of their own.
Yeah.
I believe that entire trade ship was mostly full of it.
Oh, that's why he didn't talk, because he doesn't want to pay the tariff. She closed her eyes like, oh no. Well, at least I won't go through our reserve.
But yeah, I'll get started on that, and I've got other stuff to deal with Klingons, so
Okay.
Enjoy.
Yeah, I'll make sure Fleet Captain Grennan doesn't die somehow on our deep space. Oh no, not even deep space, just our full space station, because he would find a way.
Well, that's why we give him a security personnel each time he goes off.
Time to get the Kismet. Those are Ferengi, yep.
So you board the Kismet and go after the runabout?
Mm-hmm.
So, question. Obviously, I'll be doing a roll now for one thing. Will we be getting one more roll after this?
This is the last scene of the night, so is there something you wish to get done? I'm willing to get at least one more roll in.
Well, now I'm doing the Peugeot roll, but I was trying to set up an event.
No. You could probably we can do 2 rolls here to get an event done and get your Peugeot roll done. Which event are you trying to set up for your crossover event, as it were, as well? Because that's probably what the event you're working on.
Well, considering the sheer amount of fucking Klingons, I was going to do the dueling event.
Dueling event? All right. Control plus security 2.
You know, it gives them a chance to show off their dominance, work out some stress. Also gives me a chance to beat the shit out of some Klingons getting too rowdy. Would you allow team dynamics or strategy and tactics? Because I'm purposely doing this to keep them in line.
Team dynamics, strategy tactics, I'll take.
I don't think I have a trait that would kick in, but commanding presence?
No. This is just setting up the appropriate dueling stuff, making sure people get there on time. You're setting up a fight event, basically.
Yeah.
Or a series of fight events. Eat your heart out, UFC.
I mean, Dota eats hearts out.
Wait. I'll spend 1 threat, 2 momentum. And DSE is structure, security. We'll gain 4. Spend 2 that I can have some form of this event for the Gungnir on Thursday?
Sure.
If they wish to participate in some friendly sparring or some shit.
Depends what they're doing, but you could spend toward that in case that to leave it as an option open.
Yeah.
We'll throw that at their GM and see if he bites at it or not.
He's already putting messages in this chat, so.
But yeah, I think I'm also going to try and reach out to the Pejel Star Authority to try and make the Dust Machine a neutral territory until the Quaquaw got their shit in order, and for the Federation to enforce it, as we are the neutral party in the area.
Are there any... Well, I'm asking the wrong game. That's the thing I do for Saturday. Sorry. Presence plus command, difficulty 5, assisted by your influence and reputation. To put forward a petition to the Pedro Starport Authority to convince them, hey, make that neutral zone for now, and we'll enforce that. We'll be in a peacekeeping role. It's a thing we do. It's possible. It's possible for you. That's why you're getting a role at all, because this is a thing Starfleet does sometimes. Sometimes Starfleet doesn't fight a war one way or the other. Like, no, we're just here to maintain the peace of this target world you want. Let you guys sort it out so the civilians don't get hurt. And
well, it's not just that. They're not going to really say no to the chance of maybe getting a look at the stuff on the station as well.
That's the other part. That's the other part why the difficulty is pretty high. It's like, you have to also... You totally are, but
yeah,
try not to hit. You're trying not to give that away, because that would make it hard. They might say no if you tell them that.
Would you allow... I know we haven't really set up any mission directives, but determination spent for mission directive, considering...
Yes, because it's going toward keeping the area stabilized. That's what Tiger Squadron... You're getting new directives once Aegis is done.
Yeah.
Your current directive is still maintain order in the Tallgrass and maintain stability in the neighboring Pedro subsector.
If that's the case, I will spend 1 and 4, so 1 threat, 4 momentum.
I'm increasing the complication. You gave me 2 threat?
1.
You said? 1 threat.
Yes, I'm going 1 and 4.
1 and 4. Other way around, right? So I'm just upping it by 1.
I mean, I could have actually used my medal, but I don't want to completely starve you.
Oh no! This was meant to be foot on the brake a little bit to give you breathing room, because last episode was holy crap. So this was a station keeping episode.
So that's 5, 6, 7.
There you go.
Influence rep is a 14. 1 second. To be fair, we get the 2 we gain will just squash.
Okay. What ship is enforcing the neutrality?
The Achilles.
More than likely, it's going to be the Achilles.
All right.
The Achilles
So-
is very good at enforcing neutrality.
Whether they like it or goddamn not.
So, and just for a bit of bookkeeping, so for your crossover event, what's going to happen is that you have that. Presumably, you're going to go aboard Achilles after that to continue the mission, or you could just leave it and let your staff deal with it, and you continue doing stuff on DSC. But we can sort that out on Saturday.
Yeah.
Other than that, any last things to do for Varda or Renan? Since I did give Pend another role or two, so I will open that up as well.
Oh, I could compile reports regarding our uses of our forces. Here's what you might have heard, but here's the full picture of how these are used. Here's what's been done before. Here's when they were implemented. Blah blah blah. Something that's essentially backing up the argument that we're not just recklessly using excessive force.
Very good.
Reason security difficulty 2 assisted by computers plus security.
A threat.
A single threat. I keep hearing 8.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what would you do? What would you do with 8 threats? It's like
Sorry, that's the accent there, lad.
6 threat plus 2 more as a tip. No.
Shows itself sometimes.
I don't have an accent. Everyone has accents. I know. It happens.
I definitely have an accent.
No.
Just don't know where it's from.
Yep, you're able to compile a report regarding the activities of and training of the hoplites, as well as your security forces in general in the squadron.
The Kismet helped.
Anything left for Fleet Captain Grennan?
I'm just thinking. I can't think of anything else really.
No, that's fine. With that, that will be the end of the episode.